Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a late night Oscar Fever edition of Robbiewood. I scheduled it for 11:15, but maybe people are still filing in.
Did you know Doctor Who is black now?
Really?
Yeah, he's a Time Lord.
Time Lord?
He's a Time Lord.
Does he go 15 minutes into the future? Wait. Does his setting go where he to different times, but about like 15 minutes after he needs to be there?
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Oh shit! All right. So, am I high pitched right now?
Oh yeah, I was wondering what that was really throwing me off just now. You do sound like your nuts are being squeezed.
Once squeezed.
Yeah, your nuts are being squeezed. Now you're muted. Well to the audience.
My mic is being gay, but enough about my husband.
Yeah, let's think of some cool black Doctor Who riffs.
Okay.
He's a Time Lord.
Is he related to Dr. Dre?
No, I don't know, but they know each other. They all know each other.
Yeah. That's true. That's all right. That's good. Doctor Who Dat?
Doctor Who Dat. The TARDIS is
the retarded.
Instead of being bigger on the inside, it's
okay. Dalton. These are dangerous waters.
Yeah. Well, no, he actually got rid of the pool in TARDIS. He said, "I won't be needing this anymore."
Yeah, right. He's an above ground.
Yeah, he I don't know. I'm trying to think who this is for. The racist Doctor Who fans.
I mean, so many guys with autism are loving this.
Yeah, I saw. Wait, now the audio's fucked up.
Do I sound bad now?
You sound, yeah, you still sound kind of like Chipmunky. And,
okay. How's this?
And then I'm getting like feedback, like I'm hearing there's like some kind of feedback or something.
Oh God.
But maybe is that my microphone?
No, it's me. I have this new setup.
Oh, well, this is our classic bit, troubleshooting during the show. But yeah, so the TARDIS is now instead of a I'm trying to think, instead of like a phone booth, it's a Nextel phone booth.
He goes into the phone booth and it's a Boost Mobile.
Yeah, it's a Boost. Yeah, it's a Boost Mobile. Yeah.
Where would you like to be at?
Yeah, this is good.
Now, what exactly is... I don't know anything about Doctor Who, so this is a problem.
Okay. I know...
How's this?
It sounds better, I think.
Do I sound like a chipmunk?
Now it just sounds like spacey.
Kevin?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome back to the pod.
The thing about podcasting, many of you may not understand.
All right, I'll just use my iMac speakers, which I think aren't that bad.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I know quite a bit about Doctor Who. I'm not like...
Is he the Chinese doctor who only takes appointment at 2:30?
Yeah, he's a Chinese dentist. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen like all of it because there's like, like probably like 60 years worth of Doctor Who you can watch.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of it is, from back in the, 60s and 70s and 80s. It's like hours and hours of, I guess like TV that you just had to be there.
Yeah.
To appreciate it because it's so like low budget and lo-fi that everything kind of hinges on the performance of whoever the doctor is and his companions and all that, because in terms of like the effects in those days. It was very like.
Is the twist that the doctor was a woman?
No, they didn't do a lady. There wasn't like a lady doctor until.
Remember that old joke that or riddle? Then the whole riddle was that the doctor's a woman.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh.
But yeah, but then like in 2005. So the show had like.
By the way, how's my sound now?
It sounds good.
Okay.
I'm trying to think because the show was like off the air for a while. Like they did some like special, like Doctor Who special in like 90 something. Will Sasso's in it.
Nice.
Will Sasso's in a Doctor Who movie from the 90s.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Will Sasso has some interesting cameos.
Yeah, Will Sasso is he's peppered in like a lot of cool sci-fi stuff because he's in Southland Tales. He's in the TV show Sliders.
Mm-hmm.
He was in that Doctor Who movie.
Okay, right. Would a Black Doctor House be Doctor Projects?
Yeah, Projects.
Or Dr. Crib.
He's addicted to lean.
Yeah. What would Black? That show, The Nick. What would the Black version be, Dalton? Do you think?
I wonder. Yeah, I've been wondering about that myself, actually. With Jive Owen. Starring Jive Owen.
Jive Owen is really good.
Dude, Soderbergh fucking dropped the ball on that show, man. It was so good.
Dan Soderbergh?
What? Yeah, Dan Soderbergh. That show was like the first season of that show was so good. And then it gets real stupid in the second season.
Black Doctor or Black the Nick would have Clive Gary Owen. Yeah.
Did you watch all of it?
I didn't. I'm not a big fan of like doctor shows for the most part.
Oh, the Nick, even as dumb as it gets in the second season, it's still really good. It's still worth watching. It's just I thought the end was like unsatisfying, but I think like Soderbergh is at the helm for the entire show. And it's really fun.
Would Steven Soderbergh make a show called Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, that'd be an Alex on that.
I do too, actually. That sounds refreshing.
Yeah. But just to fill you in, so the doctor, he doesn't call himself Doctor Who, and I don't think anyone ever really says that in the show that much. I know it's been said like a couple times, but it's like I guess it's more for the audience that it's just like Doctor Who. Because you never know, you never find out like what his real name is. He just calls himself the Doctor,
right?
And he's like a what's called a Time Lord. He's like a alien race from this planet called Gallifrey,
right?
And so they have like I guess mastery over time and space. But he's like a renegade.
Not a Black Doctor Who,
right? Yeah,
mastery. That sounds pretty scary, pretty dicey.
Yeah, but he's like a renegade Time Lord because like he stole one of the what they call a TARDIS, which is an acronym that means time and relative dimensions in space. So it's like basically like a time and it's like a spaceship that also travels through time, and it's like it looks like a phone booth, but it's bigger on the inside. It's like infinite on the inside. It's sort of like the. Did you watch Peacemaker?
I watched a bit of it. By the way, would Black Doctor Who have black time statistics?
Yeah. Black time.
Did you know that 10% of the doctors?
13% of the Time Lords are responsible for over 50% of time crime. Of time.
Black Doctor Who would be called Time Bandits. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think. Yeah, so it's like it's just a fun. The show was good. Like if you're around our age, you're like, I guess you had to. It's probably already too late for you, Rob. It's not even worth trying to get into now.
Right.
But for me, I was there.
I actually did try to get into it at one point.
I was there in 2005 when it came back on, and they did a season when it came back. They did a season where the Doctor was played by Christopher Eccleston, who's like a very good actor, and he was great as the Doctor. And then he So he decided to leave. So it's like the gimmick is that like the Doctor is not necessarily immortal, but every time the Doctor gets killed, he regenerates, and when he does, he turns into a different actor. So that's how they're able to like keep it going. Is that it's still the Doctor, but now he's like he got killed, he regenerated. Now it's a different guy who can play that role for the next few years.
Sure, got it.
Yeah,
it's like a comic book kind of.
Yeah, and so that's how they've been able to just keep the show going, even if it goes off the air for like a number of years, they can just bring it back. And so it's like, you know, the last 70 years, there's been Doctor Who, right? So Christopher Eccleston did one season, he leaves, and then so they wrap that the Doctor gets killed and regenerates, and then he becomes like the Doctor that like a lot of people around my age who got into the show at that time would say is like their favorite, which is when he was played by David Tennant. So David Tennant played the Doctor for like 3 or 4 years.
I like David Interstellar.
Yeah, and so like in this time, like the showrunner was this guy by the name of Russell T Davies. So like they were coming up with like cool, kind of darker stories. Like there were episodes of the show that were like genuinely kind of disturbing, like where things would happen where it was like body horror kind of stuff, and it was, you know, like kind of gross or like dark. And I'm trying to think. So then David Tennant died. Not the actor, but the Doctor character regenerates, and then it's Matt Smith. You know Matt Smith from Morbius.
He's on Legion of Skanks, right?
Yeah. And this is about where the show starts to decline in quality. Because I watched it when he was the Doctor, and then he died, and then he regenerated, and then it was the fucking guy that was in Suicide the Suicide Squad, Peter Capaldi. And that's kind of where I get like stopped watching the show. So I guess all that's to say is it's like not a good show necessarily, but it can be, you know, it's fun. But then they had some bitch. Then they did like a bitch played the Doctor. So they made the Doctor a woman finally. And that lady fucking sucked.
Mrs.
And now the Doctor's a black guy.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
So don't watch the show is what you're saying.
Honestly, I would say watch watch the season with Christopher Eccleston from like 2005. And then
my God, I'm Christopher Eccleston.
I'm Christopher Eccleston over here. Yeah, and then watch all the seasons with David Tennant. Like those are all fun. And then if like you're enjoying it up to that point, you know, you can watch the Matt Smith years, you know, and then whatever. But I definitely would recommend if you want to fuck like a fat girl in 2011. Go watch Doctor Who.
I do remember it as like a girl sci-fi show.
It was like an interesting thing because I was into it when it came back on, like when it was like 2005, 2006, and like people hadn't really found it yet. And then all of a sudden one day I was like, damn, all the fat girls love this fucking show.
Yeah, it was a show for blue hairs for sure.
Yeah.
Like Buffy, like there's certain nerdy stuff like that. All right, welcome to What About Rob, everybody. This I hope you've been enjoying our Oscar review show so far. About 5 minutes of troubleshooting and then discourse on me asking if Doctor Who is worth watching.
Yeah, I guess I brought that up because I saw a TikTok, like a clip on TikTok of some recent episode, or I don't know what the fuck happened.
I heard Chrissy Mayer posts on Clip Clop.
Yeah, she does. It looked like the David Tennant Doctor was back, but then also the Black Doctor. So somehow I don't know, they do some fucking thing where they're both existing at the same time. And then they were fighting Neil Patrick Harris. It looked like a really bad episode of TV.
Sure.
And so I guess I've been thinking about it since then. But yeah, well, hey, it's Hollywood's biggest night, everybody.
It is, dude. It's Hollywood's biggest night. I'm Peter. No, so Jesus, it's a little late night. I'm a little tired myself, but I'm excited to talk about the Oscars actually this year. I didn't
watch a second of it.
Robbie's third cousin for $2 says talk about Battlestar Galactica, Dalton.
I never got into it. That's a blind spot for me.
I heard the reboot is a lot like Lost, where it's like a lot of questions and mystery. It's like a mystery box show.
Yeah, I never. That's a blind spot for me. I never watched it. And I remember when it was on, everybody was raving about it. The new one, the redo, was the one with Edward James Olmos.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I still haven't watched it.
Yeah, I kind of want to check it out, but I heard it was really good, but then the ending is like he pulled a Stephen King, and I guess it was all God or something like that, or I guess they left a ton of stuff unanswered.
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, I heard Sal's gonna be in Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I'm happy for him. He needed the work.
He's a star. Okay, so the Puerto Rican Rattlesnake. All right. Welcome to Robbiewood, Oscars edition. This was probably the funniest Oscar. Did you watch it?
No, I haven't watched any of it, dude.
This was probably the best. Overall, it was probably my favorite Oscars in a very long time. Like, it reminded me of like when I watched the show as a kid. Because I'll just do a general overview, and then we can get into like the winners and losers of the whole thing. But I thought, as a Conan fan, which was mostly why I was kind of like really disliking watching the Oscars in recent years, and I am a fan of I'll let everyone know I'm kind of gay. I like the Oscars, but it had gotten really bad ever since Seth MacFarlane hosted, because that backlash made the Oscars really, really like hard to watch because it was super social justice-y and the nominees were terrible. Quite frankly, DEI, like it was just like so. It became like it made me mad to watch the Oscars more than enjoyable, like in the last decade or so. But this one was like kind of a throwback to like when I was, because I thought Conan was, as a Conan fan myself.
Conan O'Brien?
Yeah, Conan O'Brien.
Not the other one.
The Barbarian, which is also a movie. Barbarian.
Yeah. Conan the Barbarian's a good movie.
Right. And Barbarian. But that was more Justin Long, the Barbarian.
Yeah. Yeah, the question in Barbarian was, who is the Barbarian? You know?
Oh, I think a Barbie. That was nominated last year.
Dude, that was crazy. I watched like maybe like a half hour of that movie, and I was like, dude, are people like diluting? Like, are people forcing themselves to enjoy this? Because this fucking sucks.
I saw it in a theater, and that was fun because I went with like a group of mostly girls, and they were laughing, and I was enjoying the Ken stuff. And you know, when comedy movies are best in like in a theater with a lot of people there and into it, which is why it's a shame they just don't make them for theaters anymore, because that is like the best experience for a comedy movie. Jackass 2 and Borat are two of my favorite theatrical experiences ever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought Conan like actually, so the Oscars, it was publicized that in recent years they had trouble finding hosts to do it for comedians, because it's a terrible gig for comics, because you're going up cold. Everyone there is like, it's like 4 p.m. So it's like it's daytime. And everyone like nobody's drank yet. Everyone is very stuffy. Everyone is taking themselves so seriously and like nervous about winning or losing. And everyone in Hollywood is so fucking self-important that a lot of them can't really make a joke. But then Conan came out. He started killing pretty quickly, and he did like the best kind of Oscar monologue where the host obviously is like a fan of movies and like it reminded me of like, you know,
I like movies.
I like movies too. It's crazy how many comics don't like movies. But like Mulaney was a good host of the IFC Awards because he is a big movie fan. And Conan obviously is too. And it was like classic Conan. He was in like really good like late night form, honestly. Like even before his TBS show. And so it felt like a cool throwback in that way. And then he brought in Adam Sandler into the opening thing, and that was just a ton of fun. My fucking Hulu crashed though right before Sandler, which is crazy. Hulu logged out a bunch of people, and it's crazy that these streaming services can't get live entertainment like down, because it cut out in the beginning for me, and right before Best Actress, which is right before Best Picture. So I didn't get to watch.
It's the stream conspiracy, dude. They want you to still have to pay for a fucking cable package.
I think they're trying to replace cable, but it's like because it's like why even have cable anymore? Honestly, except unless you're like a basketball sicko.
Yeah, I mean, really, the only reason to have cable now is for sports.
Yeah, and even that's like all the big games are on streaming now, so even that doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, but if you want to keep up with like all the games in a season, you do still have to have a cable package, which is like
that's true. It's the easiest
so
way.
fucking expensive. It's
So and you need to watch fucking commercials, dude. But I do miss cable.
I miss being able to like to not be burdened with choice, like to not have to be in control of what I watch, being able to relinquish myself to the programming.
Well, not just that. There was an art to curation, you know, like whoever like scheduling on like a lot of my taste in comedy was informed by just the shit Comedy Central chose to rerun.
Yeah,
You know, like whoever decided to rerun Speak of the Devil late night with Conan O'Brien was a genius because that's where I saw a lot of it, and I thought it was so funny.
Yeah, I think Criterion is doing this, and more streaming services should have like a.
Maybe one was Burt Criterion.
Okay, I'll set an alarm. I think the Criterion streaming channel is doing this, and more streaming services should have like a basically like a TV channel option where it's just like you're just watching whatever's on at that moment.
Well, when I worked at Shudder, the coolest guy there was the guy who they had a curator, which I actually don't think they're pretty shoestring in general, but they had a curator who was just like knew everything about horror movies.
I prefer Crinkle Cut.
Oh, then you should like. I'm sorry, I got nothing for that. Chris Kringle cut. I don't know. Sorry, that was good. That was good, Dalton. Very well done.
I mean, that's not true. Actually, I do. You know, some people call them shoestring. Other, you know, if you're a little hoity-toity, you would call them julienne.
The little tiny ones that are like super fried, the French style.
Yeah, like a McDonald's fry. I prefer that.
The kinds that I like the kinds they serve in like French restaurants or In-N-Out fries. I really like too.
Yeah, I mean, I'll eat a crinkle cut. I don't mind it, but I prefer like a julienne cut.
Mm-hmm. I don't like when it's cut. I like when they say and action.
Yeah, I guess waffle fries are cool.
Those are fun. You know what's the best is when you get a little onion ring in your fries.
That's fun. Yeah,
that is so fun. That's
Curly
the same sensation as like finding a $5 bill in an old pair of pants.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know. So wait. Yeah. So it's a shoestring, but so what happened at Shudder?
Oh yeah. So when I worked there, there was a guy who was just his whole job was just to find. It's just like get movies that. Like he was a horror obsessive, and the whole thing was like it's like a horror streaming service.
Yeah,
and he like loved horror. Like he pretty much, and he like would license movies that he really liked and would like tell everyone about them at the meeting on Mondays. And he was really enthusiastic and that's like and then he was a curator. He was a curator, and I think that cable had a bunch of those kinds of guys who just planned the rerun schedule or like when things went where and like all that stuff, and which is more creativity to it than you'd think, and even less than making like how annoying it is to have to choose something. I kind of miss when that was like they're like
you're basically like a DJ but for TNT.
Yeah, like I consume a lot of media, and even I like I'm pretty good with media. I know a lot of I'm super nerdy about movies and TV and stuff. And even I will be like paralyzed thinking of something to watch. I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I just show me something.
Also, the thing is, I also feel like, I mean, this sounds like a problem, but as someone who's interested in movies, like I mostly only see stuff that I know is gonna be good pretty much beforehand because I don't have a ton of time to watch stuff. Like the stuff like friends recommended or is really good reviews. I miss like catching a 6 out of 10 dumb but fun like cable movie.
Sure.
Like the kind of movie you wouldn't seek out, but it was just on. Like I watched one, The Negotiator with Sam Jackson and Kevin Spacey. That's a movie that I like. You only would check out on like because it was just on cable, and like
right.
It's not a lot of good reviews. People aren't going to go out of their way to recommend The Negotiator. But I watched it and I was like, that was a lot of fun, and I'm really glad I watched that.
Yeah, I guess nowadays what's kind of replaced that is like on TikTok. Like TikTok will somehow things will work their way into the algorithm where you'll start seeing something like 60 seconds at a time,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's a way to discover things. Like I've watched like a couple minutes of Vanilla Sky recently
Mm-hmm.
because of that.
Yeah.
And I've been like, I guess I never saw this movie. This is like a decent, fun, dumb movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
actually
watching Vanilla Sky.
I don't really like Vanilla Sky that much, but that's the kind of movie that's in the ballpark of what I'm talking about. Just like,
Yeah, it's and I'm seeing that what you're describing happen on TikTok, where you'll be scrolling and it'll just show you a clip from a movie that's not necessarily good, but is like the kind of like just like cable something to pass the time kind of movie. And so
Oh,
I'm just like
okay.
watching TikTok and I'm like, I didn't know Jason Lee was in this.
Damn, I gotta get my algorithm to do.
You gotta get on the Vanilla Sky algorithm.
Dude, I would love to. I would love my favorite TikToks are just clips when it's like clips from movies or The Sopranos or something, which kind of makes me lame, you know.
Yeah, what I love about TikTok is this is like brilliant marketing that I like. I don't know if any of the actual channels or studios or do like if this is like by that they're wanting this or by design or just like the nature of TikTok. But you'll watch a clip and then near the end of the clip, you'll hear like the music start to fade in where it's like boom, 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 and then the clips always end with like the fan cam edit. So if it's like Sopranos, you'll watch like a clip and then it ends with just like the slideshow of Tony Soprano being a badass.
Yeah, dude, those and like I'll see some like random like thirst for Tony like fan cuts and stuff. Like, it's like people who consume The Sopranos on TikTok are the brain dead people from like who's like, why aren't there more whackings anymore on the show? It's gotten kind of gay.
Yeah. Everybody is brain dead now, dude.
Yeah. Which is why, like, honestly, this Oscars was kind of like it was such a throwback in a way that actually like made me like there was no like the ceremony itself was very enjoyable to watch. It hasn't been enjoyable for me in a long time. And the winner, the best picture winner, spoiler alert, is Anora, which is a movie with like stuff in it that a lot of Hollywood feels like they're like distancing themselves from. Like it's very
Anora won Best Picture.
Yeah, Nick and Anora's Infinite Playlist, which by the way marks I think Ivy Wolk's appearance on my podcast clinched the win for her. But this is fun trivia.
Yeah, this can't be good that Ivy Wolk is now in a Best Picture winner.
Well, I read this morning actually, and this is very interesting. Ivy Wolk is the first person to be in a Best Picture winner and Dork Court in the same year.
That's great.
Yeah, it's Oscar fever season. I forgot to get my shot, so I did catch the woke mind virus.
Oh yeah, I've caught the woke mind virus.
Yeah, Ivy. I mean, that's cool. I mean, Anora is cool because it's like they say fucking it. Like, there's a lot of swearing. You know, someone calls someone else a faggot in it. It's like
that's cool.
There's titties and ass.
I don't even know what it's about.
There's titties and ass that are like scenes that are literally just the whole point is just like look how hot this girl is. Like,
yeah, I just saw people online being like, so what? Saying things like Sean Baker has no empathy for his protagonist. I'm like,
stupid.
What the fuck is what is anyone talking about anymore?
It's like people are just like, it's funny that it's like they're all college educated people that still like ingest media like they're in 6th grade. Like Sean Baker has a ton of empathy for his protagonist. They just found out that he didn't grow up poor, so they're like, well, that means his work isn't good. It's like
I don't know what anyone is talking about with anything anymore, dude. I feel like it seems like there's like this thing now where people watch things where they're like, they seem to approach like watching things as though they're in competition with the thing they're watching.
Right. I don't want to like this.
Yeah, like it's like, yeah, if you're, it's easy. I get like if you're not the kind of person who just like is looking to pass the time watching something, which is like I guess like a lot of people's relationship with TV and movies, just like just something to do after work. It seems like the people who are trying to I don't know, like really
they're using a movie or a piece of cinema as ammo to use in a fight later on Twitter. Like they're thinking about a fight they're gonna get in later, or like what it represents.
The things I've seen people say about Anora, it's all like been baffling to me because it's like, are you guys mad that this is a story with conflict?
Yeah.
I don't know what people's gripe is.
They should write a movie, but Mikey Madison isn't a sex worker. She's like a badass lady, and nothing bad happens, and she fucking owns a bunch of dudes. That would be a good movie. Yeah, it's like, they think that like literally it's like child brain where it's like, well, bad things are happening to her in the movie, so therefore he doesn't have any no, it's like, no, it's a heartbreaking performance, and it's partially heartbreaking, but it's also a very funny performance. So it's like, it's actually incredible empathy that it has, that such a well-rounded character was created.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess like there's a difference between, I guess, because I mean, I have seen things before.
By the way, we are talking about Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, right?
Yeah, with Michael Cera. I'm trying to think because like there's a difference between like telling a story where there's conflict and bad things happen that someone has to overcome, or maybe they don't overcome them, but like where you can tell it's not like mean spirited. It's just somebody telling an interesting story. And then there are things where I guess like they are lacking.
I would like to point it out. Sexual assault is bad. Okay, I just want to clear that up.
Yeah, because I remember like years ago, I showed Lauren the MDE wine party sketch.
Yeah.
And she got really mad.
I mean, that makes some sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, but and like looking back on it, I do see where she's coming from. Like I kind of am on her side now.
Well, that sketch is objectively funny, and if you don't have context,
the thing is like when I first saw that sketch, I just thought like the absurdity of it was funny.
Yeah, same.
I just thought it was just like so fucking absurd that the joke was like the juxtaposition between how horrific what's happened is versus how the people are responding to it.
And it has a very bizarre internal logic to the sketch.
But then I showed to Lauren and she was like, so what, is the joke just like physically abusing women?
Which I gave them enough benefit of the doubt that I would have at the time been like, no, but now that I do know about Sam Hyde, I'm like, I mean, yeah.
Like looking back on that, I'm like, she's kind of right about it. Like that sketch is very cruel. Like it is just mean spirited. Whereas so that's like an example of like something where like I understand like somebody's criticism of something like that. I mean,
I do think MDE World Peace was very good, and that was because I think that the balance struck, and this is actually the balance that they had to strike between like being MDE, but also like not really like trying to please a wider audience was like made some of their. I think it provided some of their best work ever.
Yes, having like restrictions, like some kind of structure within which they have to operate, force them to be more creative than just like their YouTube stuff, which is like degenerate and vile and horrific.
Well, ever since Adult Swim, I just think he's also
he's cooked, he's washed.
Well, he's just fallen into audience capture so great. Like he was at his funniest when he was like he had to kind of moderate or just like he was forced to not just do things because they were mean. He had to like at least make it seem like it was for being funny. Whereas now his audience just loves like the worst parts of that stuff.
But I guess like what I'm saying is like I do know like what people mean when they say like something can be like a movie or TV show or whatever it is can be cruel in some way, like because that's one example. I'm trying to think, like the best, like I guess like the go-to is when Crash won Best Picture.
Bandicoot?
When Crash Bandicoot won Best. No, that movie Crash. Yeah, that movie Crash is just like a very empty, kind of mean spirited, just vile movie. Like it's not. It's not like it's not like a really redeeming movie. But it seems like this Anora movie is like I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I don't know what it looks to me like it's a slice of life about a hooker.
Yeah, well, it's like it's kind of a comedic premise, but it like has it's like if I say it's kind of like if both of his last two movies feel like if the Safdie brothers directed an episode of Eastbound and Down.
So like what it's like what? It's like Pretty Woman?
It's kind of reverse Pretty Woman, where she thinks she's getting Pretty Woman, but it's like it just like it turns out that the guy was like the twink was like lying about some stuff, and he has like really harsh Russian parents who like try to get the divorce like annulled, and she's like kind of desperately trying to like hold on to it, and it's really good. It's like so it makes you anxious, but it's also really funny, and like they have dumb accents.
I'll check it out.
You know, and there's like yeah, I highly recommend it. I think Sean Baker with this one and Red Rocket, I'm like, I fucking love this guy. He's making these great movies. And the nominees this year weren't that good. Like it was not great nominees this year, but like everything that won was stuff that I really liked that I saw.
Yeah, I didn't see a single of anything that was nominated.
I think most people didn't. They said if you like took out Wicked and Dune 2, like 98% of people they polled had never heard of the movies. Not even heard of them.
Right.
I'll just go over a little bit of what I liked about the show, and then we can go through what won and stuff. Oh yeah, so yeah, fucking Hulu cut off right before Best Picture and Best Actress, and right before Conan's musical number up top. So I was pissed about that. And it's like you'd think that like Disney, which is like $1 billion fucking company, would be able to handle a broadcast they've been doing for 100 years fine on cable, like totally. I think Conan might have got more people to watch it, or actually, it was probably Wicked. If I'm being honest, it was probably like Ariana Grande and Wicked.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how like nothing is like good quality now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like everything is just kind of is like
basketball's good.
Yeah, but I mean, like in terms of like the service you receive, like the it's like you have to pay more for things than you ever have.
I felt that since COVID stopped. I felt like it was like everything was worse in general.
Yeah, everything is like deteriorating in quality, and it's more expensive than it's
Margaret Qualley. She was nominated.
Yeah, and it just feels like like existing itself on Earth is just becoming more and more annoying.
Yeah,
and difficult and expensive, and it's
like dispiriting.
Yeah, and like it's like $1 billion companies are forcing us to pay for things that don't even work.
What sucks is that this Oscars one actually like kind of gave me some, and I just think I've just been so beaten down by Hollywood just being so fucking like annoying for so long now that just like a funny Oscars show where the movie I liked won feels like I'm like, wow, this feels big. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like finally watching something that I was kind of looking forward to something and having my expectations surpassed. And like I think Anora winning. Oh, here's why everyone's kind of mad.
You don't remember when Sydney Sweeney hosted Saturday Night Live? That was the death of woke. You don't remember that?
I do remember that, but you know what? They had kind of a good point with that because like, and everyone's like, "What, titties aren't woke?" I'm like, "What kind of like the libs have been, and when it comes to culture, have been very sex negative. Like, look at what they said about Anora that like they basically acted like Sean Baker like raped her because she has like nude scenes,
right?
And
there was no intimacy coordinator.
Yeah, there was no, but Mikey Madison said was like good. Like if the artist, everyone involved, but like like everyone was mad at them, and I was like, who is okay? So no one wants an intimacy coordinator there. Why would they have them there? What's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Like,
dude, I come from the
Shia of consent meme where it's like director cast going, I consent, and Twitter being like, I don't. Like,
I come from the Shia LaBeouf school of sex scenes, which is actually you should actually have sex.
They Marlon Wayans did that in Requiem too.
Really? He was like, "Can we actually just have sex?"
They like actually fucked in Requiem in that one scene.
It's so gross, dude. It's so gross to do that for like an actual movie.
Oh yeah, it's like it kind of worked for that movie because it makes you feel kind of like slimy and uncomfortable, which is like that is such a feel bad movie.
Hold on, God damn, I don't know why this keeps happening. Hold on, my screen blinked and now I'm frozen. I'll be right. I'm gonna refresh. You're gonna have to let me back in.
Okay.
This fucked up the timing and the flow and everything. Sorry, everybody. Hold on.
It's all right. Okay. Well, while Dalton's missing, I just I do have some stuff to talk about. I finished so around this time of year, around when the Oscars are, I usually like to Oh, you're right back on time.
I'm back. What is this?
I did around when the Oscars are every year. You can follow me on Letterboxd if you want to see any more of this. I ranked all my favorite movies I ranked all the movies I saw this year or last year. And we could just go through it briefly. I thought you were going to take longer, but
no. I have to click refresh and then it comes back.
Refresh friends.
Let's see, Ricky Steen.
So this is my least favorite movie of the year with a bullet was fucking Civil War. I don't know if you saw that.
No,
but it had like it was such a dumb movie that thought it was smart, and like the ending was literally like they like break into the White House and kill the president, and the last line is like it was literally like a journalist with a gun being like, "This is off the record," like the end of a Stallone movie or something.
That's cool.
It was like trying to do political commentary, but it was so both sides are the same that they don't even say like what politics anybody in the movie is,
right?
Which is brave. Trap I wish was better. Great concept. Blink Twice was really bad, and it was a lot like that movie Speak No Evil that came out around that time, but Speak No Evil was just a lot better. Blink Twice was like just it was cool first 2/3. It was like fun party time. And then once the horror started, it got a little sillier. And then the ending.
Now streaming on MGM Plus.
Dude, I just got back in MGM Plus. They had like the most Best Picture winners for free.
MGM Plus has a lot to watch.
I use my dad's cable login, and I guess I have MGM Plus now, so I'm down. Longlegs, we've talked about Longlegs.
Boring, sucks.
Longlegs is a movie that, as I thought about it, I liked less. Around here is all stuff that I generally liked.
Carry On was a really good dumbass movie.
It was a cable movie, dude.
That's a cable ass movie, dude. It's so fucking stupid.
An all white TSA crew in LA, like hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, all white TSA, and one of them gives a shit enough to care about what's happening. Like.
Yeah, a lot of it was helped by just Jason Bateman being like cheesing it up, like kind of hamming it up. Sal likes to ham it up, I know.
Yeah. Roadhouse I'd put in my top 10. I mean, I
actually never finished it, but I did enjoy it. But I kind of just like put it there until I never.
I gotta celebrate a fellow Dalton, but it was actually like
you gotta start watching the Lakers, dude.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that Roadhouse movie because. They changed enough where it's like, yeah, he's still, I guess like the only comment, the only thing they keep between this one and the Patrick Swayze, the original, is they're both named Dalton. But like beyond that,
yeah,
it's like its own movie.
I actually most of my Roadhouse knowledge comes from Family Guy. So.
dude, the 1989, whenever it came, 89, 90. Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott, like that movie. That is a fun movie, dude. It's really
I'll
good.
check it out.
Patrick Swayze. I like that Patrick Swayze. Yeah, the Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze is like really just a really dumb, fun, like ridiculous action movie. And this one was too. First off, his name is Dalton. That's cool.
That is pretty sick.
Secondly, it takes place in Florida, which is awesome. Florida's cool.
Yes, I did enjoy
things are in Florida. And third, I like the. There's a lot of cool. Well, there's a lot of cool like camera things they do, like the way some sequences are shot. Like visually are very engaging. Like it looks cool. But then that Conor McGregor character, I like that They created a character that was just like Connor. Like, what if it was Conor McGregor?
Right. It is basically Dave Chappelle playing like President Bush. Like, what if Bush was Dave Chappelle?
Yeah, like the character was written just for Conor McGregor to be Conor McGregor, and it works so well. He's so fun in that movie, and and the payoff when they do finally fight each other is like really awesome. It feels good. It's like a genuine payoff when you have this final showdown between them in this like cool badass fight.
Right.
So that Roadhouse movie.
Roadhouse.
That's a top 10 right there.
Sal's a big fan of Texas Roadhouse.
I am too, dude. Have you had the cinnamon butter? Have you had the rolls? With
I've
the
never been to
butter?
Texas Roadhouse,
dude.
I've been to California Pizza Kitchen.
That's the same thing, man. What else?
From now on, I'm gonna say, oh yeah, my podcast co-host is from Texas Roadhouse, but I'm from California Pizza Kitchen, so it's a fun dynamic.
Yeah, Quiet Place.
So this was right. A Quiet Place Day One I thought was really fun, and I enjoyed it considering I did not like the first two at all.
Yeah, I think it's like a stupid concept.
Yeah, A Quiet Place, but I like to talk.
Yeah,
I watched A Quiet Jace. Gladiator 2 was fun, not great. Beekeeper was. We've talked about Beekeeper.
Beekeeper's awesome.
Wolves, I thought was a lot of fun. That's another cable movie.
I haven't seen it yet. Is it good?
It's on Apple TV Plus. It's very light. There's not much to it, but I just enjoy. It was just a light, fun movie, not trying to be anything. That was just Clooney and Brad Pitt just doing their Ocean's 11 shtick for a whole movie, which I enjoy.
Yeah, the kind of movie they used to make like a ton of in a year that were like mid-budget, except now it costs like hundreds of millions of dollars and no one sees it because it's on the streaming.
Right, and usually one of them was a comedian, but now it has to be just two very bankable actors.
Yeah.
Speak No Evil is very good. You should check that out. It's like it was one of those horror movies that made me so anxious up until the end, and then it just kind of turns into a standard horror movie. But it was really fun. Great performance from what's his name?
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy, yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
He's fucking great in that as just charming guy with something sinister going on, you know?
Yeah. Alien Romulus sucked.
I liked it. Deadpool Wolverine I kind of liked too.
I hated Deadpool and Wolverine. I had to turn it off. I was like,
oh, The Sopranos doc was good, but I was like, was it a great movie? No, I just liked The Sopranos. So
Love Lies Bleeding, didn't see that.
It was fun. It was like it was very like A24, like lesbian Coen Brothers movie, you know.
Okay.
It was actually kind of Pain and Gain for girls.
Oh,
that's how I describe it.
Cool,
but not as good, not as good or funny as Pain and Gain, but the style was awesome. I like the style a lot.
Didn't see Challengers. I heard what makes Challengers good is the Trent Reznor.
Yeah, the soundtrack is fucking great. And I think it's not for me. I think it's for gay guys, but I did enjoy it.
So it is.
You're gonna love it, Dalton. Inside Out 2, I saw with my mom and my sister, and I cried.
No, I'm not watching no cartoon.
That's one of the like OG Pixar arguments. Like, no, it's actually good for Toy Story. Is actually really good. Nah, I ain't no watching no cartoon.
Yeah, I'm not watching no cartoon, dude.
Late Night with the Devil, I really liked when I was watching it, but I'd like never think about it ever.
I love I haven't seen him. I love that guy. The David, what the fuck is his name? David Desmachi.
I thought it was really fun.
System of a Down guy.
Yeah, I liked it especially because it's the kind of movie that I feasibly could make and would love to make that kind of movie. Maxine, I liked a lot. I like this trilogy with Pearl and
yeah, I haven't seen it.
Actually, kind of a good year for horror. There's a lot of good horror movies that came out.
Didn't see The Substance.
That was nominated too. The first gag Conan did was a Substance joke where it was a pre-tape where he comes out of Demi Moore.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was funny. I really liked Saturday Night. I know it's not a cool movie. I know people don't think it's chill, but I thought but it gave me that feeling. I used to do sketch comedy, and it was really good at just nailing that feeling of just scrambling to get shit together before a sketch show.
You just remind me though with that movie, and it seemed like in 2024 especially, if you went and saw a movie, just any movie in 2024, you had probably like a 70% chance that you were going to see Willem Dafoe.
Dude, he was in so many fucking movies this year. What's that about?
He was showing up in everything.
But all not like Bruce Willis where he's slumming. It's like all pretty good movies, but he was like in them all. It's so
Dude,
weird.
yeah, like everything I was watching, I was like, man, he's fucking in this too.
That might be my favorite Dafoe performance of the year, actually, Saturday night, where he just plays like a lecherous Jewish agent and he's like, you're gonna be a big star, kid. Let me just feel your thighs. Oh, and then J.K. Simmons with him as Milton Berle. It was like, okay, this is just fun. It's fun. It's a fun movie. It's worth a watch. Unless you really hate SNL. Like if you hate it, then don't watch it.
Which I do. But
yeah, then maybe don't watch it. But the behind the scenes stuff, I've always maintained the even if SNL isn't great, the behind the scenes shit about it is always pretty fascinating.
Yep, and that's why we have 30 Rock.
Which is great. I've started to watch
30 Rock is better than any of these.
Juror number 2, I was confused because I did not see
the
Juror Juror. Yeah, I didn't see Juror number 1, but I still really like Juror number 2. I can't believe Clint Eastwood directed this shit at like 95 years old. He's like
Clint Eastwood is a very good director.
He is. His last movie, Cry Macho, was just fucking awful. So I was like, but it was just fine. It was like, all right, well, he's 91. What am I gonna? He shouldn't probably even be allowed to work.
Dude, he's old.
But Juror number 2 was fucking. It was like a really good Law and Order episode, honestly.
It's like it's crazy that for like the rest of the country, they say the retirement age is like 65. But
Lola Ladies for $2 says To Be Horse section. Wow, I got $2 from a girl. Thank you so much.
But then, like, for all the jobs that are like
also To Be fucking rules. And Dalton, before you say it, the To Be Horror section is not my bit on my little segment on Tubi.
I like Tubi.
I'm on Sticker
To be
Treat.
or not to be.
I did Mark Norman Sticker Treat. I had a set on there, and I thought you were gonna say the horror section was my set.
Oh, I didn't even know that. But isn't it interesting how they want the rest of us to work our asses off to retire at 65, but then all the cool jobs that you are enjoyable, these motherfuckers don't retire. They're working well past they work until they're dead.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
also,
I guess
65 seems young. Like
95?
No, the retirement age is like 65, right?
Oh yeah, well,
they say it is.
It was made when people died at like 75.
Yeah, 65 seems like young now, and also nobody can retire anymore. But
yeah, they need to raise it because then maybe the benefits will be better.
And folks, you're listening to Glenn Beck.
Well, what's funny is that's the one issue that old people like will vote more liberally on because they're like, "Fuck that! I'm keeping my retirement." So like Republicans won't touch that one because old people vote, and young people really don't. Joker 2, I loved. Nobody questioned my taste. It nails the incel guy meets BPD girl relationship pretty damn well. Dune 2, loved. Still don't really know what happened in Dune 1 or Dune 2. I really have.
I don't. What are you not getting about it? Like, what are you not understanding?
What's going? I just have no clue what's happening.
I don't understand because it's pretty straightforward.
I just don't know what anyone's talking about. They like talk basically in not English, and like I just don't know what the plot is. Like, what is he doing? I just don't. It just goes way over my head.
Well, it's basically it's basically Hamas. It's like space Palestine.
Yeah, but then they're bad too. I don't get it.
Well, what the story is saying is that it basically like when you like in rebelling against like whatever the like oppressive force is, to meet that with like violence and terror will just like continue a cycle of violence, and so you'll like it. You know, like what'll end up happening is like you'll have this like turn like this change of like the power that'll happen. Like the people, like the freemen will rise up and overthrow the Harkonnens and the fucking Empire or whatever through violence, and seemingly liberate themselves. But then in doing so, like because of like their violent, in the book is called jihad. The movie I think calls it a crusade, but like in doing so, it just continues.
Bobby
Bobby
Crochet.
Crusade. It continues this cycle of violence where on that timeline, into the future, the Freemen, like the Atreides uprising and all that, they will at some point become the villains. They will become the oppressor, who then need to be quelled by some other people. And if this continues to happen, like where this constant like this constant like fight, this violent beating everything. The point is violence begets violence. Like that's what it's saying. It's just that like that I guess it's also saying that it's not that Paul Atreides is necessarily good or bad, or that the Freemen are good or bad, or that that it's like more, everything is more in a gray area. That like they're responding to the conditions in which they exist, but in responding in the way they do, which is through like killing a bunch of people, that will only continue this like cycle of like violence and suffering. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the theme makes sense to me. I just don't know the nitty gritty. I just don't really understand like what's like. I don't understand like I like the movie like because I kind of can see the broad strokes and the themes and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's basically that like the people of Arrakis, like they live there, and Arrakis is home to like the most valuable resource. I mean, it's also the plot of Avatar. So if you understand Avatar, you understand Dune, because like Arrakis houses the planet has
99 says super chat. Thank you, Bert Chrysler.
Yeah, so the planet has like the most valuable resource in the universe, the spice. It's what they need to navigate space. It's like they need it for space travel. So the people that live there have been like oppressed and subjugated by the like the dynastic houses like House Harkonnen and this whole empire and all that, so that they can mine the planet for the spice. And so all the Freemen have been like, it's basically like like what you see in countries like Palestine and stuff, like here, like with oil and all that, and so, but then for the Freemen have like no interest in the spice. Like they just want water. Like they just want to be able to like live cool, chill lives.
I hope my life is cool. I hope my life is chill.
Yeah, and then there is like a much more vast, I guess, like story being told. Like there is like more being said regarding that, because it's like the only reason that they need this very precious resource where they have to like tear apart this planet and fuck up these people's lives is the human race has the ability to not need that. Like they have other means of navigating space and doing space travel, but they've basically through lobbying, like we have now, they're not allowed to use these other like resources they have, which in the book is AI. So like they need the spice to navigate through space, because it allows like the pilots, the navigators, to parse through the universe. Like they can actually navigate through like ingesting this spice, But the only reason that that's like a necessity is because they outlawed AI. The AI used to just do all the navigation for them, but then like thousands of years before Dune starts, they outlawed it. So they have like the ability to not be reliant on this like precious finite resource, but they're just not doing it out of like just because of lobbying. Which is like what we have now, where it's like yeah, we're still like burning oil and shit, but we have like we do know of other ways we can power everything much more efficiently. But we don't do it. We don't use them. So I don't, I guess like I don't. Maybe you're just stupid. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Okay. A Real Pain I really liked.
I didn't see it. You're not stupid, Robbie. It is. I guess it is kind of confusing.
I'm not great with plot. That's just like honestly, I just don't really understand plot heavy. But what I liked about Dune 2 is I really didn't have to understand it. You know,
you know what? We've talked about this. You don't have to. It's as long as the vibes are good.
The vibes were great in Dune 2, and the action sequences were sick. And I like how Dune 1 and Dune 2 feel like completely different movies, kind of.
Yeah.
Robbie's third cousin, new member 5. What about Rob memberships? That's great. Thank you, everybody. And we have specific emojis, I'm pretty sure, for members. So, go in and, I think we have a Love Guru one, and I think we have a Dan Wicks one, and all that stuff. All right. So my top 5. Oh, Real Pain was awesome. It really showed how annoying it is to have to travel with a Jewish person. Kieran Culkin was fucking great in it. Like it was Roman. He was just doing Roman Roy kind of, but Roman Roy is a good enough character to carry a movie, and he was fantastic. He won the Oscar tonight, so I'm happy for him.
That's cool.
Megalopolis. I mean, look, we could do a whole show on Megalopolis, but it was the closest we've come to Southland Tales in the last 20 years. So Conclave was great. Kind of sad it didn't win anything. It was a really.
I didn't see Conclave.
It was like the Avengers of old guy character actors.
I love Rafe Fiennes.
Oh, one of my favorite Conan jokes was if he loses, he's lost so many times that if he loses tonight, we're all going to start calling him Ralph.
That's good.
Conan was great, man. You got to check out his stuff on the YouTubes. Furiosa was great. Undersung. Yeah. The Apprentice was awesome. I think Jeremy Strong should have beat Kieran Culkin. I think his that Roy Cohn, it was like such an incredible performance. And Anora won Best Picture. So that's my personal taste. And yeah, follow me on Letterboxd to find more. I hope that you enjoyed that list. And we'll just go, because I'm getting kind of tired now too.
I think I have a Letterboxd where the only movies I've rated were the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and I gave them all 5 stars.
Well, that's perfect. Why you don't need to see any other movies. Honestly, I could probably do with that. But wait, are Shrek 3 and 4 any good? 3
is not that good, and then 4 is good. Yeah,
I'll check out 4 then. All right, so here are the winners tonight. Anora won Best Picture. Cool. I didn't get to see what presented there. Mikey Madison won for Best Actor. So I guess this was an upset because Demi Moore, everyone thought was going to win, but she literally got Substance did. You know?
Yeah.
She lost to like the hot new actor.
Yeah. I can't believe the Substance was nominated for anything.
By the way, why was she nominated and not Margaret Qualley? I thought Demi Moore should have been nominated for supporting, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, the Substance I think it was I think it was just because it was girls and they, a little DEI there. Because I like the Substance, I enjoyed it, but they don't nominate horror movies, especially not super genre heavy horror movies.
Yeah.
Best Actor. Okay, so Adrian Brody won.
He missed me with this bullshit. I'm not sitting through that,
dude. And first of all, 3. Like, come the fuck on, dude. If you have an intermission, you better be Tarantino and just entertaining the fuck out of me. Adrian Brody gave a speech that made me really dislike him, like almost very quickly. I was on the fence, but first of all, he should have done it in a Jamaican accent, like
yes,
like on SNL.
Bombaclad.
Yeah, Bombaclad.
Paul Blart.
He Paul Blart. He gave this speech that was like just so self-serious, but like not saying anything. Like he literally, it seemed like he is AI writing like important speech, and he was just like, and we tell these stories of. And this is how we combat anti-Semitism and combat racism and da. Like it wasn't. Honestly, it was all style, no substance. And then at
You,
one point
you still have like this thing on the screen, by the way. This
what? Oh,
the Robbie this thing. I didn't know if you were wanting to like continue highlighting him or not.
what thing?
The Robbie's third cousin.
Oh, sorry. Oh, geez. Well, thank you, Robbie's third cousin.
Thank you, Robbie's third cousin.
Hey man.
By the way, I'm gonna fix all the audio feeds soon.
You're an audio slave at this point.
Yeah. Show me how to live.
So he was going long, and he was like, "Hey, can you guys stop playing the music, please? Just please."
Adrian
I
Brody's
know,
a good,
it's gonna be really
he's a
quick.
good actor. I like him. Dude, have you seen Predators?
Yeah, which is maybe my favorite Predator movie.
Honestly, my favorite Walton Goggins line ever is when he sneaks up on one of the Predators, and he leaps onto him and says, "Take that, you space faggot."
Yeah, I actually, when that happened, I posted it on Twitter. It's like they used to make real movies.
It's so good.
So he shushes the orchestra and says, "I'm only gonna be going from," and he goes, "Trust me, I've been up here before." Like as like I've won an Oscar before. It's like, oh my god, what a douchebag.
Yeah, well,
and,
buddy,
then
you haven't been in that many good movies. So.
And then he started talking, and then he started talking fucking forever again. And then the orchestra had to play him off again. He's like, "All right, this time I'll go." But shout out to Dubba Dubba. It's like, where's the self-awareness, dude?
Maybe he's Mossad. Maybe he was trying to.
Folks, it was just like The Brutalist, interrupted way too long, and I didn't like it.
Dude, it's like you can't. I just don't know of anything that's going to get me interested in a movie about brutalist architecture. Miss me with that fucking bullshit, dude.
I heard he gets raped in it, so I'm kind of curious to see.
I did hear about that. I mean, I guess it would be interesting to see a movie about like an actual. I don't know. I just don't want to watch it.
No, me neither. It seems like a homework movie.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so when that director was like, "Yeah, I didn't make any money making this." You made a boring piece of shit, dude. You made a fucking boring ass movie.
I've heard the first half is great, and then the second half. Durso told me that the last act was fucking awful.
That's what I've heard. Yeah,
I'm actually kind of interested to just see how they fumble that. Is it just because of the rape? I guess
I don't know. I guess I hear it falls apart. I mean, you better have a very good reason for your movie to be like over 3 hours long.
Yeah, you have to justify it.
Yeah, it better be like a biblical epic movie.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, is this an Infinite Jest thing where people are like raving about it just because they finished it?
No, Infinite Jest is awesome.
I've heard, but you know what I mean? Like, if something like I think sometimes people are like, "Oh, this 4-hour movie was fantastic," just to like brag about watching a 4-hour movie.
Well, we watched the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, but that's a great movie.
Better than the Brutal. I would say the Snyder Cut. I haven't seen the Brutalist, but I'll call it now. The Snyder Cut is better than the Brutalist.
Well, I can't say when a movie is long and slow. Like just pick up the pace. I don't know. Timothée Chalamet in I haven't seen the movie, but I kind of was hoping he'd be rewarded for just trying his whole Dudes Rock rebrand. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Wigasance. I just do not, man. I just don't have any affection for Bob. I don't give a shit about Bob Dylan.
Yeah, he's for like, I don't know who Bob Dylan's for, like boomers and like certain kinds of hipsters.
It's just the music has never been for me. It's always just I don't know. It's just never appealed to me.
Okay, so so Ralph Fiennes was awesome, or Ray Fiennes was great in concert. It would have been really cool if he won. This was my favorite, but I didn't really think he was going to win. It's cool they nominated him though. Sebastian Stan was really fucking good in that movie. The Apprentice. Kieran Culkin won Best Supporting. Kind of talked about that. I didn't even know Edward Norton was in A Complete Unknown. Yeah, it should have been Kieran or Jeremy Strong, but they must have split the Succession vote. But I wish Jeremy Strong had won. Okay.
Yo, so he Saldana won. Yo.
Oh yeah. Oh,
That's the upset of the night.
Conan made so many funny jokes about Amelia Perez. Like he just kept making jokes about like how it was a disaster and like after they did like the big Amelia like you know how they do it for every Best Picture nominee, they do like a long thing. Yeah. Conan right after was like, all right, we're not going to talk about that. Let's keep it going. just like there was a whole joke about it being an elephant in the room, a running joke about being an elephant in the room. I haven't seen any of these movies, so although Conclave, yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, whatever. Director Sean Baker winning Best Director is really fucking cool. He's such a good director, and it's like he's only done indie movies. He's never done a studio movie, so that's really, really cool. He won.
That's cool.
And he seems like a fucking cool guy too. Like he seems like he's like
oh wow, Laugh Out Loud probably won for best cinematography.
No, yeah. When they announced his name, I was like, "Lol, Kraut." Like what? I literally like, Googled his name. I was like, his name isn't Lol.
His name is Lol.
It's funny because that movie doesn't seem very funny.
No, I mean, if it is true that it ends with Guy Pearce raping Adrian Brody, I guess that is pretty funny.
Yeah, that is funny. Lev Furcatu got almost shut out. This was one of the only nominations.
Well, yeah. Why? I mean, but why would it be nominated for anything?
I think it was trying to get an Oscar because it's like pretend.
Like it's a remake of a remake of a horror, is a vampire movie. So it's a creature feature. That's why I was like, the substance shouldn't have been nominated for anything.
Shape of Water was a creature feature, and that got nominated.
That was a crazy fucking win that year. That movie, I went and saw that movie, and that was not, to me, an Oscar kind of movie. It was also not a good movie to me. I did not like it.
I liked it, but yeah. Anora isn't an Oscar movie. I'm shocked it swept everything, but I'm happy it did. I think it was also because I think that the nominees this year were just like, this is a very weak year. Actually, it was a good year for Anora to kind of get in there.
Yeah.
Pause. Flow, I heard, is great.
I heard is good.
That upset Inside Out 2. Mm-hmm. Flow, Bill Hader said was his favorite movie of the year, and he knows ball, so that's kind of cool. All right,
there's a new Wallace and Gromit I still haven't seen. I gotta watch that.
Yeah, I thought you didn't like cartoons.
Well, no, that's
I ain't watching no.
It's Clay. It's Clay
Thompson.
Yeah.
Didn't watch any of these. Man, the Oscars is such a gay event. They literally nominated a movie called Yuck.
I like that.
Wicked, actually, this seems like it should have won. Like, those costumes look fun. Screenplay, Anora. See, this was cool. Sean won like 3 Oscars because he directed, wrote, and he won Best Editing too because he edited the movie himself. Which that they never edit their own movies. That's crazy. Substance should have won Best Makeup. That was crazy makeup.
Dude, making a movie seems hard.
So these people came up after they won Best Song, and it made me really glad that Amelia Perez like is hated and didn't win anything because they went up there and they were so annoying, like Mexican theater kids. It was like so annoying. They were so fucking annoying. I'm glad. All right, I'm so glad Amelia Perez like was dead on arrival because if I had to hear more speeches by this team, I'd be so pissed off.
Yeah.
Girl in the Orchestra, I didn't see. Dune Part 2. I mean, this is now all. I'm not a robot.
Yeah, I mean,
not a robot. Who was that by? Who tries to say they're not a robot? I'm not a robot. Is that me trying to log into my websites? Because I mean, I'm starting to think I might be a robot by how rarely I fucking win those things.
Do I click the corner of the street?
Traffic light? Did I forget what bridges look like? What the fuck? Oh man, I fucking hate those. It's like the fact that I lose these like half the time is not.
Yeah, I fuck them up all the time, and I'm like, that's not my fault. That's because you made a faulty mechanism.
Yeah,
I clicked all the boats. You don't know what a boat is.
Yeah, the robot's in charge of telling me I'm a robot.
Exactly. That's exactly right. I got to prove to a fucking robot that I'm not a robot.
I wrote.
How about
Oh,
you
no,
tell?
you
How about you tell
robot.
me which one of these is a motorcycle? Because I know what a motorcycle is.
Yeah. Hey, I robot. More like you robot. You're a fucking robot.
I robot, you robot, we all robot for robot.
Robot Goodwin. I hear I'm Still Here is fantastic. I'm surprised Brazilians were able to make a movie.
By Walter
Uh,
Sales.
The Mike of the Sacred Figs was nominated.
Mm-hmm.
By a guy named Mohammed in Germany.
Mohamed Rasulov.
Oh, I guess Flow was made by Miguel J. Gomez. That's cool. And,
Yeah,
right,
I mean, fuck this whole award show. The best movie that came out last year was Furiosa. So fuck
Furiosa
all
was
this.
good. Overall, though, it's so rare that my favorite movie of the year wins is even nominated for Oscars. So I'm stoked on that.
And I would like to have sex with Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor-Vols.
Anya Taylor-Vols.
Oh, this brings me to the most important night. Doja Cat sang. They did a full Bond music medley. For some reason, it felt very random. But I really enjoyed seeing Doja Cat sing "Diamonds Are Forever" because she was great at singing it, and I want to have sex with her. If you catch my drift,
Yeah, she has big butt cheeks.
dude, she's fucking hot. She's getting hotter.
Cutie, yeah.
And she's like, although if she used to like be like an incel 4chan kind of lady.
Yeah.
And I think she's abandoned her edgelord roots because she should have brought out Kanye during Diamonds Are Forever and Jay-Z.
Yeah. Yeah, and that Charlie XCX dude, she's like so hot you almost like don't even realize she's half Indian.
Daryl says, "Good job with the Vols, ref. I'm shocked that thank you."
What happened to her? What happened to all these fucking people?
Anya's still like she does like she's like a Flores where she's like just in the general I live in Brooklyn scene and will like do a comedy show once in a while.
What happened to all these like gay ass fucking?
She's on OnlyFans now.
Yeah. Did you watch Shane's monologue?
I did, yeah.
Did you like it?
I thought it was. I mean, I predicted it. He was nervous again.
Dude, he was giggling at himself. He was giggling at his own skits.
I think he was nervous. Oh, his own stand-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny like seeing Shane and Conan back to back because usually the SNL host is like pretty confident and the Oscar host is nervous. So it was shocking to see like a nervous SNL host and Conan was super fucking confident, which was, it was crazy.
Well, Conan is like Mr. Show Business, dude. I mean,
but even like Kimmel will seem a little nervous. Yeah, Conan is Mr. Showbiz for sure. He did a song he did a song and dance number despite not being able to sing or dance.
Yeah, like I mean, Conan is as forward thinking as he is and as like innovative as he is. He's also like got one foot firmly planted in like old Hollywood. Like he's very much like a classic show business kind of guy.
Yeah, him and Seth MacFarlane are similar, where they're like kind of throwbacks.
Yeah,
but they're like, Seth MacFarlane or Conan is the best at doing these jobs and like a late night host and Oscar host at like the kinds of stuff that I'm like, it's like, why is like this is such a dated kind of format? Yeah, but then he like breathes life into it, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But he was so funny, and the whole show was very funny because I think they used his writers for like there was a whole thing about like there was a June Squibb thing that like they had June Squibb present. And she's what was the Oscar?
That already sounds great.
I literally tweeted like, okay, they definitely used Conan's writers because this June Squibb bit is right out of Late Night.
Yeah, because that was one of the funniest running jokes in Hubie Halloween was that she kept showing up in like a different novelty T-shirt. Remember that where it was like boner donor?
Oh yeah, so June Squibb was like, I'm actually being played by Bill Skarsgård right now. Half the time you see me in public, it's Bill Skarsgård. The real June Squibb is at home with a book right now. I'm like, this is just a bit from Conan.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't want to I guess like armchair quarterback, armchair whatever it's called, because I couldn't imagine I probably couldn't do it like the job of hosting at Saturday Night Live.
By the way, June Squibb should have won an Oscar for Hubie Halloween. Go ahead.
Yes, I agree. But yeah, it did. Like watching that monologue, I was like, well, first off, I think I've heard some of these jokes before, in like other things he's put out. I don't know, but then also, yeah, he did seem like, I don't know, yeah, he seemed nervous.
My thing with Shane
He's
is
really nervous Nelly.
I think he's still funny. Obviously, he's still like one of the better working comics. But there's some red flags lately with Shane.
Well, I mean, I'll say that, like, because like tons of people go online and we'll talk about like how he did as doing the monologue and all that. It's like, I mean, it's a tough gig, you know. It is hard. It seems like it'd be very nerve wracking. So you know, I don't know if I could do it. Maybe I could. Maybe I do. Maybe I would do better. Actually, I don't know. But it just so I don't want to be one of those people who'd be like he bombed or he sucks or whatever. But it definitely was like underwhelming.
Well, his monologue, like last time he did it, he was nervous. For whatever reason, he gets in his head with that SNL monologue. My one thing that I was like, I thought was better than last time, the monologue, but
maybe he's flying too close to the sun, dude.
I think it's a little weird how like openly pro-Trump he is now, which is like, it's fine to be whatever your politics are, but I always thought Shane was funniest when he was like convinced. Like a lot of his best comedy is him talking to, like, obviously made when he was doing like gay alt shows and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like when you think about it, both sides are kind of the same. But I don't know what I'm getting to a point where I'm exhausted with everything, all of it.
Yeah.
But like anytime anyone mentions like liberals, I kind of check out. I'm like, okay, fucking, you know, decades of this.
Yeah, what was it, like liberals are the Sith or something like that?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I get it.
That didn't even really make sense. Like, it just
I don't know. He didn't. It was like this. It did seem like there was a lot of that monologue was like, well, I guess if you listen to the podcast, you probably would understand this.
I mean, I just think he was funniest when he was like performing to people who didn't know who he was, and like even if he was more conservative, and he was always kind of conservative, he was good at like talking to liberals and like he would do something that they didn't like, and then he would like win them over, and I always thought that was really funny. But now I think it's like, okay, is he just playing for his people? Like, not just his people, like his people.
It's like that fucking quote from Mother Night, where it's like, "Be careful."
The comedy Mother Night.
The comedy Mother Night. Be careful what you pretend to be, lest you become what that is. Something I'm paraphrasing, but you know, you get it. You get the sentiment where it's like if you like pretend to be something enough, or if you like embody like a caricature long enough, you do just end up becoming that thing. So like if you become like a, you know, like, oh, you a bunch of liberals like that, like where it's like, I don't know, it's like a fine line you walk between like ironically liking Trump to like
I mean, he's literally like
a Trump supporter.
He's like in contact with the Trump team. Trump even was like, "I like Shane Gillis. He's on our side." And it just.
I mean, I'll say this: like, there is the thing where it's like Trump is funny.
All right, gifted one about Rob membership. Thank you.
Because there is this thing where like Trump is funny. Like he is very entertaining, which is why he should be in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, and he was great at that.
He shouldn't be the fucking president. So it's like. I can't really enjoy any of the like you know, the humor of it, or like the ridiculousness of Trump anymore, because it's like, well, this fucking presidency, like this administration is like, seems like they're doing a lot of things that are gonna like make life difficult.
Yeah, I mean, look, politics aside, it's just I think his comedy, like I've always loved his comedy. Like his personal politics were always not mine, but I always loved his comedy. And it's like, I think
Trump or Shane.
I mean, but honestly, both.
Yeah.
Lola Lady says her name is Zizi. Okay, thank you, Zizi, and thank
Well,
you.
I mean,
Lola
it's
Lady.
like I guess
Thank
like
you, Yeezy.
I would never be one of those people that says like the job of a comedian is supposed to be this or that or whatever.
Right.
But I mean, when you're like going to events and hanging out with Trump and taking pictures of him, it's like, well, at what point are you like this is an endorsement? You know what I mean? Like you're just endorsing him at this point.
I mean, yeah, I think he's.
Like you don't get to like claim that you're still like an outside observer or that you're like commentating on it from like some sort of objective point of view or anything anymore. It's like it seems like now you're like you've offered your endorsement of this person. Like
yeah, but honestly, just as like politics completely aside, and just as a fan of Shane Gillis, I just think when he was doing gay alt shows in Philly and doing the Comedy Cellar, even though he was conservative, he was great at winning those people over. And now he's kind of in this place where he's doing the Comedy Mothership and playing for Rogan's fans and not even talking to like he talks to all other conservatives like in Rogan's circle and stuff.
Honestly, it does seem, dude. I hate to say what I'm about to say. This will piss everyone off, I guess. But it's like a lot of the things that like the people that we thought of as like snowflake lefties, like for those number of years, a lot of those people's fears have been validated.
Dude, I know. Well, it's
because like that the thing that they were always saying was like there's more truth in what these jokes than you think. Like there is some like honesty in what these people are doing, and then for the longest time everybody was like, no, these are just jokes. We're just joking. Come on, this is just jokes. And that was always like the argument, right? But then now there's been like this paradigm shift. It's like
it's the most involved comedians have ever been with the president of the United
States. Yeah, it's like Tim Dillon is sitting down. Tim Dillon's fucking having Steve Bannon on his podcast. It's like,
dude, the top comedians, most of them have like Trump's phone, like the president's phone number.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's where I go. Well, like you don't. How can any of you like continue to make that argument, that defense that these are all just jokes when you are, bedfellows with these people, with Trump and fucking JD Vance.
I both mispronounced and misgendered ZZ last time. His name is ZZ. Thank you for the membership, ZZ. And you are a man.
Yeah, it's like you're not subverting the you're not subverting anything. You're like being subsumed by the power, the elite,
behave.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, to Bill Burr's credit, whether you like him or not, he has never like he's maintained like a position outside of all of it.
Right.
Like
Louis
he's always
like kind of too. Even though I guess he was always pretty lib, but
who?
Louis C.K.
Oh yeah, Louis. Yeah, but it seems like there's like a lot of entertainers now, not just comedians, where they're like becoming active participants in politics and like the who's in power currently. Like they want to be on like the winning team, so they're all like buddies with fucking Trump and all these fucking guys now.
I mean, I said this, but like, I mean, look, I've basically said all this stuff, but that's what depressed me about the Hinchcliffe rally thing. But like, even as a comic, it's like it's the worst. Like Shane, I thought was on his way to being the next Louis, and the fact that he kind of like stopped wanting to do the Comedy Cellar and is choosing to just do Rogan stuff and his own fans, I just think it's gonna not make him better as a comic. He's gonna lean way more into just being, I don't know, just like a comedian for Trump supporters, which would be bad, dude. You don't want to be that. Even if
I don't want to have anything to do with any politician.
No, it's just as gay as like, I've always said this, but it's like Nanette. It's like, all right, as soon as your whole thing is like even Patton Oswalt, he would be pretty lefty and make fun of Bush and stuff, but he would also do stuff about hating hippies and like, he would say retard and stuff. And
yeah,
so I just think it's good to be balanced, and I think Shane is very talented, but he's Brian Callented. But that whole Rogan sphere is going to like a dark place, and
I
it's
didn't
like,
know. Do they? I
because
wonder.
Shane's fans also all like literally think they're his best friend, like he's their best friend.
They're the gayest people of all
It's
time.
not even fans. It's like people. It's like people who like. It's like the ultimate bringer show where he's bringing just like all these people who just think that I'm personal friends with Shane. I need this my friend to do good. Like,
yeah, and I wonder like how many of these like people in entertainment are they? How much they're aware that like even though it may be beneficial for them to court Trump
Door
and
court?
JD Vance, to door court Trump and JD Vance and like buddy, do podcasts and all that with them.
you didn't even say please. Not
Like,
even
I wonder
one.
how much they're being like how aware they are that they're being used politically.
Yeah.
Like they're being used by a politician so that politician can further their own interests.
They call them useful idiots in politics. It's been a term that's been around forever.
Yeah. Like Elon Musk goes on the Rogan podcast. It's like, well, this is a ploy by Elon to further his own end.
How's that different from state-sponsored propaganda? Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, anything Rogan's ever said about comedy is forfeit the second he said that Elon Musk is funny. that was like the end of it for a complete end for me, where that I could like, in any way defend Rogan at all. When he made that comment where he was like, yeah, he's like a really funny guy, I was like, this guy is a complete fucking fraud. Then when it comes to like all the shit he's talked about with comedy, if he's gonna come on in here and say that Elon Musk is funny, he clearly is either just like a dick rider or just a complete fucking moron and doesn't really know comedy.
I mean, Rogan is a moron who doesn't know comedy.
He is a moron. Well, that's
Mike Myers as Elon was great. Mike Myers is so good at being on SNL, man.
Yeah, I'm always happy to see Mike Myers.
We
talked about that. It was not a good Elon impression.
No, it was Austin Powers' voice in the cat.
Is
the cat in the hat with Austin Powers' voice?
Yeah, the sheer like seething, dripping hatred that you could get, like that you were able to glean from.
I know,
like just how much he fucking obviously hates him.
Yep.
Was like radiating to where that's what
made it funnier.
Yeah, that made it funnier because it's like he hates him so much he didn't even attempt to do a good impression. It was just born from a place of pure fucking anger.
It was like, yeah, it's funny to watch because you don't see that like even like it's kind of the opposite of Shane's Trump impression, where Shane's Trump is kind of like, I think Donald Trump is awesome. Like it was just fun. Yeah, he just wanted to make Elon look like like he's obviously watched Elon just been like, I fucking hate this guy, and he just exaggerates his autistic spazzy movements and stuff.
Have you seen that guy on Twitter who's been refining his Elon Musk impression?
No,
dude. There's this comedian. I don't know who he is or where he lives.
Maybe James Adomian.
It's not James Adomian. It's some guy I've never heard. He's like probably an open mic or like a local guy somewhere. He posted, it went kind of viral where he posted a video where it was like Elon Musk if he was on Kill Tony, parentheses, it's the worst thing of all time. And it is a like spot on fucking impression. It's so cool, funny.
I like seeing that's cool. I'll have to check that out. I've tried Elon a lot, and he's really, really, really hard to nail for me.
Dude, this guy fucking nails it. Like he really captures the way in which Elon has no timing, and
that's great.
And also just like kind of just says like incoherent, like muttering. He just like kind of mutters incoherent things and tries to do a joke, but can't commit to anything. And then we'll just like laugh at him. So, dude, it's a really like spot on impression.
I love that. I'll have to check out because sometimes a good gateway into an impression is just watching someone else's good impression and like, it's not, you can kind of key in on what's funny.
Yeah, I think like one of the things he says is like, yeah, hey, here's a joke for Kill Tony. How many Democrats does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many Democrats? Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, so many because of the pronouns. So many pronouns.
All right, I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah.
honestly, the one silver lining of Trump being back is it does feel like like Hollywood is it seems to finally be getting the message. Like finally, like it just does seem like there's like no social justice shit at the Oscars this year, and
Well,
like
I think everybody's getting the message that nobody genuinely gives a shit about the cause. That everything that every fucking corporation and anything that anybody was doing was just trying to figure out where the money's going.
oh yeah,
So I think that it is like a time of disillusionment where people are like waking up to that and being like, "Oh yeah, Pride Month and all this fucking shit that every fucking company and actor and director and every entity was doing for all those years
right.
was like disingenuous because it was just in the interest of profit." And so now that there's no money to be made with that, they're all ditching that. They're all getting rid of that. And so I think people are like realizing, I guess honestly, everybody's realizing how little anyone actually cares about anything.
Well, I think the media. I mean, it's just like the Oscars. I was like, it's hard to detect, but it's just like there was no hand wringing about the fact that like most of the winners were white or whatever, and it's like there was a white guy host, and it's like not that shouldn't matter, but they made it such a big point of discourse for so long, and the show itself has benefited. Like it was actually fun to watch this year again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
and yeah, like Shane's hosting SNL, which is like even though I think he might be going down a bad road. Like what that symbolizes is cool. Although it's crazy, SNL still doesn't have a fat guy in the cast. Like, what the fuck? It's all twinks.
It does feel like there should be a funny fat guy. I mean, I guess Kenan.
Okay, but come on.
But he's black.
And he's too old to he's too old to like fall on stuff or like fart on someone, you know. Kenan's also not that fat. You need like
he's not that fat anymore.
You need like it's like
you need a Bobby Moynihan. You need a Horatio Sands.
Yes.
Yeah,
Farley, dude.
Farley.
Belushi. These are funny fat guys are like I just think that like yeah, most of the industry just like there's still stuff to be annoyed by it with comedy in the mainstream industry, but at least in film it does feel like things are getting just like I think all this like intimacy coordinators, all that shit makes for bad art. Like I hate to use this term, but it is like that a DEI like affirmative action shit that kind of made all this shit bad in the first place. And
well, I mean, I guess there's like a broader thing happening. I gotta like think on it, but I guess like our lives are becoming like more and more meaningless. Like as money becomes like the sole reason for existence, that that's becoming what's valued above all else is money and profit and getting money, getting the bag. That it becomes almost like I don't know, pointless or like a fruitless endeavor to actually care about anything.
Well, there was a lot of fruits at the Oscars.
There was a lot of fruits at the Oscars, but you know what I'm saying? Like to actually care about anything is just getting in the way of making money. And so and now it seems like the sentiment is like it's foolish to do anything that would hinder your ability to make money. That's like what's valued above everything. So like life itself is like our very existence is like becoming just like meaningless.
Well, but also particularly, I think liberals and stuff. Honestly, Elon buying Twitter maybe just kept that.
Because I mean, like, how can you have any sort of argument? How can you like contest like if you try to take a stance on anything or have principles? How can you contest like when someone's like, yeah, but I have a lot of money? It's like, oh yeah, well, you're right.
Right.
It's like
more money.
I guess like you are living. I mean, there is like a nugget of truth in that Worthington's law thing. Like more money equals better than. Because it's like if you like, yeah, if you choose to have principles in rather than like make a ton of money, like if you try to stick by your guns, it will like your material existence will just be like you're fucking miserable and broke and uncomfortable. Whereas like somebody that made the effort to just make money can like show you proof, like yeah, this is actually awesome. So you can't even like contest that. You can't even be like, yeah, I'm right and you're wrong. Like at least I have like my morals or scruples or whatever, because it's like No, my
Yeah.
life fucking sucks. Like, actually caring about things has got me fucking nowhere.
Yeah, I mean that's why I was kind of like the whole Trump getting elected just made me think like, well, I guess being, trying to at least look like a good person just doesn't matter. In fact, it can impede you.
Yeah, but that also speaks to like the spiritual decay that we were like experiencing. I don't know, like what is whatever it is. Like, is the great Satan capitalism, or is there something more going on? Like, I don't know. But it does seem
Well,
like
it's always
more.
been like that way. We want to think that the nice and moral guy will lose. I mean, or the mean guy, the bully, the soulless person, the climber. These are people that you would hope would lose, but actually, it's the
No,
opposite.
actually win over and over and over again.
If you've been in comedy, and you notice this in comedy, the people who make it are the ones who are like not people a lot of the time.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, is it worth
Like
even
every
caring?
defense of Trump is like, well, you would do that because this. It's like, yeah, I understand why someone would do that, but part of being a good person is not just listening to that voice in your head. It's like, I want to do what's good for me and no one else, and fuck everybody. Like,
Yeah, it's like, are you willing to sacrifice like any sort of good life in favor of your actual beliefs, or would you rather just like live an awesome, comfortable, nice life?
I'll say this though, I also think that when it comes to watch it, Trump people's, I forgot. Look, if you're a woman, I get why you would love Trump. I'd take nothing from that. It's the same reason I thought Doja Cat was the best part of the Oscars. They're hot and I want to fuck them.
Am I like I'm like Alton Brown?
Farting Brown.
Dude, I'm farting brown.
But I also think the reason you don't see as much social justice at the Oscars and all this stuff anymore is it just like, because I actually don't think that came out of trying to be a good person. I think that came out of just being performative, and it just like it was like infected everything.
Yeah.
It was honestly the woke mind virus, dude. But
dude, the woke mind virus is getting everybody.
But I think that like the libs not doing that much in like these Oscars, and there's not as much like performative that like Oscars so white, that shit anymore. I think that's what people realize it doesn't work. Like that shit was so huge during COVID and after, and minorities voted for Trump. It's like, oh, this actually might be like it's not working. It doesn't work. It doesn't do anything except like make you feel a little better for a second.
Yeah. Oh shit. People are mad at me on Twitter. Uh-oh. I'm getting flamed on Twitter, dude.
Dude, it's so funny how like Trump supporters are a little bit like Shane, where they're not, or Shane's support fans. Actually, they're gay in a different way, where they literally act like he's like Jesus Christ, like he sacrificed so much for our sins.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people who believe that. Like he has.
What I'm trying to say is both sides are kind of the same when you think about
it, both sides are kind of the same. Dude, did you see this tweet that went viral where somebody posted a screenshot from Shaun of the Dead, and they said 29 was considered comically old to have not figured your life out yet in 2004. And
yeah.
And then somebody quote tweeted it, and they went viral. And their quote tweet said, "I'm going to hold your hand when I tell you this," as if to say that 29 is actually comically old to have not figured your life out. And then I commented on that girl's tweet, and I said, "Shut up, bitch."
Good for you.
And now people are mad at me.
Well, you're right though. That person was just trying to make people mad though. Like like it's actually it's such a weird form of cruelty that like people really weirdly like. Just to like, there's this thing as like feel like just like Sam Hyde does a lot of this actually, where they masquerade as self-help, but what they're really trying to do is just like be mean and make someone feel bad about stuff.
Yeah, they want to make you feel bad about it.
Which is not helpful, by the way. It isn't helpful to be 30 and not have your life figured out. And someone says, "Well, you should have."
And it's not helpful at all, dude.
That doesn't help at all. Like
they want you to feel bad about circumstances. They want you to feel bad about like. I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, it could be any number of things as to why your life is not where you want it to be.
Because also, like, according to who? Like,
even by the way, even if it's your fault, like even if you've made like a series of horrible, awful fucking decisions that have gotten you where you are now, that's still like not a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like in the grand scheme of things, like if you just like made like you just fucked up completely, but now you're like trying to figure out like how to fix it and get your life together. It's not really a bad thing. It's like,
No.
yeah, you learn from that and then you like move on. But there does seem to be this like kind of sick kind of glee people
Oh yeah.
have toward anyone who's like not where they are yet or like still struggling or trying to figure out how to like figure their life out.
Mm-hmm.
Like they derive like some kind of satisfaction from being able to look at people and be like, you know, if you 32 and ain't bought a house yet, you're not gonna make it. It's like,
It was crazy. That was all Sam Hyde's fucking self-help when that was weirdly going on. It was all like, he was basically talking to his fans like, if you're this age and like blah 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 blah, you are a loser. You have nothing going on. And it would pretend to be health advice, but I literally think it was just people who like craved a dad to be mean to them, and that's it.
Yeah. By the way,
Also-
J.K. Rowling didn't write Harry Potter until she was like in her mid-30s.
Yeah, and also that's not the joke of Shaun of the Dead, was that he didn't have his life figured out. Actually, that's setting him up to be an everyman. So it's actually very normal.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't.
Yeah,
like,
it's not that he didn't have his life figured out. Honestly, like in the joke of the movie is that he's actually kind of like okay with his life.
yeah,
like,
what's
he's-
wrong with his life?
like,
he's
him
an
and
everyman.
Yeah, him and Nick Frost, like they actually are like good. You know, they just are pretty easygoing and are like okay with where they are. It's that his bitch girlfriend expects more of him, and that's where the conflict arises.
So funny. All these guys. Yeah, it's so funny to double down on missing the point of the movie.
And
Or
yeah,
just, like,
and
Yeah.
the point of the movie, honestly, is
The moral of
to
Shaun of
have
the
fun.
Dead.
The point of the movie is to have fun.
It's also like, okay, so yeah, the movie. All right, let's take this to its ending. Sean has his life figured out, and then zombies invade, and none of that matters.
Exactly.
Yeah, the point of the movie is friends. It's friends are cool, are fun.
I don't know. Yeah, this goes back. Like, I don't know how people are like watching anything, dude. Even dude, our boy Oldershaw was talking some shit on Severance today, and I was like,
know.
I thought it was a fun episode.
His cat died, and I think when he's depressed, he goes into full on like contrarian.
Okay.
Like, I think his depression manifests in just trying to make people mad with his takes.
Yeah, I think it's fun that like I guess because you know like
It's like
TV.
Yeah, he's kind of, because I think he was kind of on your beat where it's like everything sucks, and then once I point out that something's good, it's like, well, AI is gonna fucking kill it anyway, and I'm like, all right.
TV, well, but TV's not movies, so like TV is TV. So I'm not like watching TV expecting it to achieve like some like higher art.
No, everything on
you know
TV.
what I mean?
Tarantino's right. Everything on TV is a soap opera, and that's fine. Like that can be.
Dude,
fun.
that's why I love TV, dude. It's like
fun. Yeah,
it's my
bring your brain
stories.
up. It's for after work. It's supposed to be for after work. Movies,
Yeah,
is for locking in.
and so that's why, like, when you have a show like Severance, where it is like each week is like a continuation of this story. So, like, stylistically, typically, like with TV shows, you wouldn't like deviate too much stylistically from episode to episode. You know what I mean? Like, usually a TV show is, from the TV. Like, usually, like a TV show is shot a certain way, and they consistently shoot it that way to maintain like the narrative structure of the show.
Yeah, the director of a TV show generally is they mostly just get out of the way.
Yeah, and so like, but then every now and then you get a little
Monica.
You get a little bit of Monica, a little bit of Deborah.
Everybody loves Ray Fiennes.
No, I was just like every now and then you get like an episode of TV. You get an episode of TV where someone was allowed to just like go nuts. Like The Sopranos would have episodes like that, like those episodes where it's like dream sequences.
Oh yeah.
Where they would go like full like it would turn into like an episode of Batman. Where they would do like the what do they call it? The Dutch tilt, like those like dreamy camera angles.
Right.
Like, that was cool. Twin Peaks, season 3, definitely. And then what? Some TV shows will.
Twin Peaks is a movie, I think.
Twin
that is
Peaks.
Because it was all written and made at the same time.
Yeah, but then like this like latest episode of Severance like prior to this, like as far as like whatever the word is, visually,
Mhm.
the wackiest they had gotten was episode 4 of this season, the one that Ben Stiller directed.
Right.
And then with this episode, they like whoever this lady is. I think it was like her first time directing
Oh, the
anything.
girl who directed it. Never mind. I'm on Nick's side.
Yeah, but it seems like she was allowed to just like kind of go crazy with it,
Mhm.
and it is like a thing. Like the episode itself, I'm stupid, so like I can see some of the influences, but I don't catch all the references.
Right.
But it's like a cool thing to see like this woman who clearly has like all the things that inspire her,
Right.
where she's like implementing them into like the way she directs this. Where I suppose it's obvious, but it's also like, well, it's a fucking TV show, so like, this isn't like the same as a movie. She's working within the constrictures
Yeah.
of TV.
Oh yeah.
So, but it's cool that they like allowed her to deviate narratively for this episode and just like kind of go crazy with it. And I mean, it doesn't all work, but I mean, overall, I thought it was like a fun episode.
It's like even when a TV show doesn't work, it's like okay, sorry, it's not a movie shot on film from 1981, but it's like
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, like ultimately, I will say the episode, I was just like kind of confused and didn't really understand what was happening. And I don't know if that's because the way it was shot or maybe I'm stupid. But it seemed, I just kind of was just like, oh, okay, so like this character that we're just now getting like really actually introduced to, we're catching up on her story, and I just actually just kind of don't know what's going on.
I mean, whatever. It's like once again, I don't really understand what's going on ever, but it's like it's like it sounds like
vibes, dude.
It also sounds like it took a big swing, and if you're inclined to hating, it's like easy to hate on that stuff. And I get he's probably just also annoyed with like how
it did that thing that like TV shows will sometimes do where we'll take a break.
I'm gonna watch it, so no spoilers. But
oh yeah, well it's like you've seen TV shows do this where we take an episode to take a little break from like the main characters.
I love those kinds of episodes.
Yeah, like the Rickety Cricket episode of Sunny.
Right.
It's like
Lost would do that a lot, and it was always pretty kino.
Yeah, so like this latest episode is like focused on a character that they haven't really focused on that much before. It's good, man. You should catch up.
That's fun.
Yeah, TV is so annoying now because like I gotta like get up at like 4 a.m. on a Thursday,
right,
to watch Severance because everybody's immediately spoiling it.
Oh, dude, I cannot stand that Twitter. Whenever there's any movie that is culturally impactful or people want to see, the ending is on Twitter. All like that, dude. It's crazy.
It sucks. Like you can't. It's not like a thing where it's like months later. It's happening like as the thing is
literally the second. Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I haven't got. Don't make me fucking wake up as soon as this drops because you're all gonna fucking spoil this shit,
dude. Dude, I'm so with you. That is that's a fucking pet peeve of mine and has been for years.
I'll tell you what, that grinds my gears.
It definitely grinds my gears. That's why it's actually kind of a good idea to mute like the word severance if you're watching it and care about spoilers, because but we shouldn't have to do that.
We shouldn't have to. I should be allowed to enjoy my stories.
Yeah, people want to just like destroy our stories, dude.
Yeah.
And also with the thing with Severance, it's like, all right, even if there's a weak episode or whatever, it's like it's still like definitely the best thing on TV right now.
Yeah, and it's a
mystery. That speaks more to how bad TV is right now. But it's like, are you gonna fucking nitpick like the best thing on right now and say it's trash? It's like, shut up.
I mean, and it's a mystery box show, so there is a very good chance it could end up like it could crash and burn.
Almost every mystery box show does not end satisfying.
Yeah, there's a very good chance they will fuck this up, but that's also enjoyable.
And also enjoy the fucking mystery. Well, if they do fuck it up, what's the point of just being like, they're gonna fuck it up? See, I told you. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's the fun thing about mystery box shows is like anything that you're speculating or reading, like any like Reddit threads or any of that, is just as valid as like anything the show comes up with, because it is just a writer's room of people being like, oh, so like what do we do? Like how do we do this show?
Yeah. All right. In conclusion, next year I'll get my shot for Oscar fever because having the Ivy woke mind virus is not
Dude,
great.
we're gonna be rich next year. Like the podcast is gonna, all the podcasts are gonna take off. Dude,
Dude,
Robert Gibson's alive.
Dude, I told
back.
my therapist I have a new therapist, and I kind of gave her like a recap of like the last few years of my life, and I felt like George in that episode where he's like, the Andrea Doria episode, where he's just like talking about how bad things have been for him. We're just going through his like life story, and like they're all like horrified at what happened.
Oh really? Because like I go see a counselor, and like if I do that with her, she's like, sounds like you're like dwelling too much on like negative things that have happened to you. She's like, you just need to go get some sun.
Oh, sounds like you have a better. You might have a better or much worse counselor than me.
Yeah, like I go see a counselor that's like government subsidized, so I pay like $4, you know. And like I'll talk to her, and if I start getting like hitting all the negative shit, she'll just be like, well, you know, that's all in the past. Like, really, what's important now is you go for a walk, get some sun, drink lots of water.
Yeah. You know what? Weirdly, walks can really help your mental
health.
Dude,
like 98% of anything you're dealing with can be resolved with a good long walk.
It's crazy.
It is
how,
true
like,
that like just taking a walk.
As much as we think the mind is complex, it's also like we have the monkey thing where no walk, no sun. I said monkey.
I mean, I like seriously, before you like hop on like SSRIs or any medication, go for a walk and stay hydrated.
SSR Reinfeld.
SSR Reinfeld.
All right. I guess that's
I'm
it.
sad.
I think we really got to the fucking bottom of the film industry. We recapped. I mean, nobody here even has to watch the Oscars now. We recapped the fuck out.
In fact, you know what? Fuck movies. I think people should read more books. So read books. Check out books.
They did play the Austin Powers theme song during the Oscars too, which was very cool.
That's cool.
But they should have had Austin Powers or Fat Bastard show up.
Yeah,
that's all I'm trying to say.
What do you think the new Shrek will be good? We'll end on Shrek.
I thought that people have told me that 4 is actually pretty good.
3 is kind of the lowest point of the franchise of the series, and then Shrek the Third, yeah. But then Shrek Forever After, the final chapter in 3D, is
he's like a family. Good. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a It's a Wonderful Life kind of plot. So like
It's a Wonderful Swamp.
Yeah, because it's like he has a family and all that, and he's kind of growing this like discontent with his life. And so he strikes a deal with Rumpelstiltskin to like where he can just be an ogre again. And
that sounds great.
Yeah, so then it's like he is like transported to this like alternate life, like this alternate universe where he never married Fiona and doesn't have children.
So he basically like replays his life.
Yeah, and it's like everything is like different, and he turns out it's not good. It's not what he wanted.
That is exactly what it's like to after you get broken up with, after being like, man, I wish I was single again.
Yeah, so like, yeah, Shrek 4 is good. Like, yeah, I would say Shrek 1, Shrek 2, and Shrek 4 are good. Puss in Boots 2 is good. I actually never saw Puss in Boots 1.
Me neither, but
Puss in Butts.
Puss 2 is good.
Puss 2 is good.
I did Digital Bazooka yesterday, and it was a lot of fun. But they were so much better at prank calling than me. Like, I just thought of one joke, and as soon as I got the joke over, I was like, all right, bye.
Yeah, prank call. You gotta have nerves of steel to do prank calls.
It was nerve-wracking. I didn't enjoy doing it. I did call the Olive Garden as Sebastian.
Yeah, because like I would do them.
Do you have any Popper Bell? And they're like, what?
Yeah, I would before like I guess like everything was cell phones or whatever. I would do them as a kid. Like I would just go through the yellow pages and call random numbers, and I would do it. But then like that initial like discomfort you feel, it's so hard to work through that because then you like there were so many prank calls I would try and do where I'd be like, oh, never mind, bye. Sorry to bother you, bye.
Yeah, I feel too bad for the people. It was like hard for me to be in the like prank calls are funny to listen to on the computer or the TV, and those guys are funny and very good. But when you're in the room with it, I just feel so bad for the other person on the other line. But it was funny.
Yeah. It is weird to do it as like just a podcast, like where they are just like calling. Well, you're just calling strangers, right?
Yeah. Just people like live in Syracuse.
Because like prank calls, like Roy D. Mercer,
right?
That was like the big prank call show that I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
Those were always like very good natured because it was a big radio production, and anyone they were calling, that it was like requested by a friend or a family member of the person.
Yeah.
By the end of it, the reveal is like they'll be like, do you know Rebecca? And the person will go, who is this? And then they'd be like, this is Phil and Brent in Tulsa. How you doing? And then it would diffuse the whole situation.
Well, that's great. Yeah.
But if it's just a podcast where you're just calling strangers,
there's
no release of that tension. The person is just upset still.
Yeah, man. I mean, it does reinforce my thought that like people who do prank shows are sociopaths, but not Drew and James. Those are good eggs, and it was a fun show. But my last one, I literally called a beer bar, and I was like, "Hi, are you looking to buy any more new beers? I work in Pawtucket for Pawtucket Ale." And then she's like, "Well, you'd have to call the manager." I was like, "Oh, yeah, tell her Peter called." And they're like, "Oh, does she know you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I just hung up like just so quickly.
Yeah,
I was like, I had one joke for this, and that was that Peter would call, and that was I just had nothing.
Yeah, I guess if you do prank calls, you do also understand like how something can happen like that story of that guy that prank called it wasn't a prank call. He like called a McDonald's or something and convinced everyone to like take all their clothes off or something. Whatever it was that happened where it was like I think it turned into like an act of terrorism. But people are much more trusting than you realize.
Right.
And then you feel bad because you go, oh, it's this easy to like take advantage of people?
I mean, that's the problem. Is like that's why to put this all together. That's why, like, it really doesn't pay to be like a nice or good person that trusts people, and it pays way more to be a cynical person that just knows how to manipulate people.
Yeah, like
Vinny Beetle.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, and I guess that's like the fundamental problem with. I hate to do. We should probably end this before it gets too gay because I guess that is like the fundamental problem with capitalism.
Yeah,
you're rewarded for that, you know.
Well, that's why capitalism is best when there's like some sense of like cultural shared like belief in like the golden rule and Jesus Christ, or like our people, or the president honestly says be a good person, or like that's why like I do think like the way that the other thing libs are right about is like Trump is like, well, everyone's like, oh, Trump, he's just like everyone else in history. It's like, well, you know, and this is always be a dorky thing to say. They're like, well, character matters, but I literally do think that, and that maybe is my fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's a great way to stay fucking broke forever.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, all right, well, I just think like this is also very gay, but I was like, I just think it's not good for kids to see the president like bully someone like on TV, just like bring Zelensky there and just like bully.
Because I mean, honestly, like if doing good things and like strong character and being a good person really mattered, then like doctors would be billionaires. Like they would be rewarded. Doctors and teachers and
doctors make a lot of money, but teachers, yeah,
but anyone who acts in service of other people they would all make the most money. But the people who actually make the most money are like salesmen, finance guys, entertainers, like people who are capable of like shutting off that part of their brain that says I should do good for other people and just like dialing up the part that says I should do good things for me.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I guess like doctors are like paid okay, but
you know what they say, money buys happiness.
That's true.
But a lot of narcissists and people like this who succeed in capitalism, like they're not happy. They're like because they just have a hole.
Patrick Bateman, dude.
They all have like a hole that they are trying to fill with money and success. Pause.
I didn't say doctors don't make money.
And here's why being a nice guy and having good character does matter. Is because ultimately, yeah, money would make everyone's life better, probably. But what actually, just like taking a walk is good for mental health, what they've shown is that what makes people happiest and feel fulfilled with their life is basically just good friendships and good relationships, like in your life. And if you are Vinny Beetle or something, like you asked Vinny the funniest question, which was, has any of your relationships with people ever ended well or ended? And he was basically like, no. And it's like, well, that's why you don't do that. Because if you fuck over enough people, you're going to be widely hated.
Or you just become the president.
That's why. That's another reason why it's depressing.
That's
But it's like Trump also doesn't have a lot of actual friends. He has like sycophants, and
that's like
he's
the
also
craziest
not
thing about
happy.
Trump is like all the people that are having like regret about voting for him, where it's like they're they're realizing like he's implementing a lot of policies that are going to make their lives more difficult. I'm like, well, yeah, he's like known for being a con man. It's crazy that.
Yeah, well, their argument always switches. It's like, he didn't con anybody, but if he did, it was good and they deserved it. Oh, the devil, but actually the other ones are the real con artists when you think about it. But also being a con artist is good because you gotta know how these people think, and maybe we'll con China if we got a con artist. It's like, or maybe you're just getting conned and you're falling for it.
yeah, you're just getting scammed. You got congratulations, everybody. We all got scammed by Donald Trump.
But anyway, but look, Trump isn't a happy guy because he's just fucked over so many people.
He seems pretty happy. Like, yeah, honestly,
I do not think he seems that happy.
Like, honestly, I think
what can't really stand to be around him anymore. It's like, and
I think what sucks for us is he seems like he's truly enjoying everything he's doing.
I really don't. He's always like really pissed off. The only time he's happy is when he's dancing.
That thing with Zelensky was like really alarming.
Yeah,
it
was.
This feels like when you're watching, like when you see like a couple just start lashing out at each other in public. It's like, oh, I wasn't meant to see this.
Well, no, but what was I think the part that's really depressing is he set that up to do that.
Yeah, it was a hit job.
It was just embarrassing, aren't you?
To scold a guy. Dude, geopolitics is beyond me, but it's like, I mean,
I'm more of a Derek guy.
Yeah, so it's like on the gate.
We're gonna build the gate. We're gonna make sure all the illegals are on the gate.
Man. That whole thing was just like so fucking uncomfortable to watch because it's like, regardless of like however anyone feels about Zelensky or like where this money is going,
it's like everyone just starts being like, "Well, here's why Ukraine is conning us." I'm like,
"Look, I don't care." People are getting killed. Like it goes beyond just like these petty fucking like politics of it, or like the money and all that. It is like, well, I mean, you're talking about like that country. These two countries have been fighting for quite some time now, and we're talking about like people's lives. People lost their lives, and like it's war.
But you made a great point. Like, where is that energy for Israel at all?
Exactly. That. But like to turn it into like, like John Cena and to make it like a wrestling.
It was literally like red meat to throw. Also, no one cares about the Epstein thing anymore. Like
nobody cares about the Epstein thing. Nobody gives a shit.
Everyone, like even right wingers, like, man, this sucks. Like he fake released it.
Yeah, the official GOP Twitter account did a rickroll.
Oh, that was awful.
They're just laughing at us. They won and they go, we don't owe you a fucking thing.
Yeah, because they're fucking childish bullies. And yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, honestly, I know like when you think about it, both sides are kind of the same. I don't know about that at this point because it does seem like the people that are in power now are much more mean spirited.
Absolutely, dude. Like
I feel like it's like seemingly bad as like Kamala's administration would have been.
It seems like it would have been awful by the way that they spent money.
I think they would have maintained at least the facade of diplomacy and
or just not fucking be a dickhead. Like set up events to be a dickhead.
Yeah, I do think that at least what the Democrats have going for them is they are at least have that sort of duplicitous where they're willing to at least present as if they give a shit, which maybe it is kind of refreshing that there's an administration in power that's openly mocking us and laughing at us.
Well, but it's what you said. They're just mean. They're bullies, and they're like, That's the, and everyone will call me a pussy or whatever. It's like, look, dude, I know this might sound childish, but kids do watch that shit. And it's like the president is one of those guys when you're a kid you're supposed to look up to as an example. And that's why it's so upsetting when like the whole thing is just, it seems like like the whole thing is just trying to like bully people you don't like, and that's like that's the lesson that we're supposed to take. It's like it's cool to fucking like even when it comes to like California, Trump's like, I'm not going to give you any money for the fires unless you like do these things I want. And it's just like you're only doing that because you're like, you know, your fans just fucking hate California, and it just feels like,
Yeah.
Can you like, it's like if Biden did that, people would fucking have spurged out, you know. And it just shows that Trump just has contempt for people who live in blue states.
Just give me money. Just give me money. That's my whole thing.
I would also like well, you know what? Here's why Trump is great. Crypto rally today.
Dude, crypto. Dude, yeah, you were about to bitch out, dude. The other day you were like, should I sell my XRP? Dude, imagine how
I did not say, should I sell? I said,
you did ask.
You said, should I hold it if I recall?
Well, that's also asking if you should sell. But dude, it pumped hard today.
Pause.
Dude, like everything fucking crashed, and I was like starting to kind of sweat, and then XRP pumped right back up, baby.
I agree, Drew. Shout out to California.
And hey, guess what? Meme coins are coming back. All my memes are starting to wake up. And,
I will say this. Ironically, Trump's just basically trying to dismantle the federal government and give the power back to the individual states, which ironically is going to help all the blue states. Like they're the ones whose money go. Like California is like a lot of the country's living off California, the revenue California generates.
Yeah.
Like fucking Kentucky is going to suffer if like it becomes less of a country.
Dude, I just need XRP to go to like $600, and I'm a millionaire.
Oh, me too, man. I think I would be too.
How much do you have?
I have like $1,000.
Hell yeah. So wait, how many do you have? You have like 500?
I don't know. I don't even check it really. I just check the price.
No, you have, like, how many tokens do you have? Like how many shares? Like 500, right?
Yeah, I bought in at 2. So yeah, I have like 500.
Yeah, I mean, if it went to 600, you wouldn't be a millionaire, but you know, you would have some cushion. It'd be good money
for the pushing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, who knows? I don't know. Like when it comes to crypto, people like when you talk about XRP and you say, yeah, it could go to this amount, they go, that means it would have to have a $10 quadrillion market cap. And I go, I don't know if that means anything. Like, I don't know. Like, do you know why that?
Hey, Jimmy Grow Republic in California. That's cool.
Yeah. So let's not get it. We shouldn't get it too in the weeds on crypto. We'll save that for Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's smoke some weed. Let's chill out. Let's go. Oh, see, this is the thing. It's like, yeah, it's like, and the thing is, they're brazen about that too. The Predatron said he's giving power to the capital billionaire class. Yeah, exactly. It's like,
dude, I prefer
all those stupid memes about like us, like it's not red or blue. It's like
I prefer glazing, dude. Donuts.
Ooh, Krispy Kreme.
I want some donuts. I want a blueberry donut. I want a Bavarian cream filled. I want a plain cake.
The Oscar. One last thing about the Oscars. The Grouch didn't show up even once.
Yeah.
And also, everybody loves Ray Fine.
In fact, I think I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to wake up at like 5 a.m. and go get Baker's dozen of donuts.
Okay.
So I'm going to get plain cake, blueberry, Bavarian cream, some plain glaze.
In honor of Sean Baker winning.
Yeah. Maybe a bear claw. Such a stupid way to start the day. Is just like eating a bunch of pastries.
You know what? That's if you're going to eat like a sugary thing, you actually should eat it in the morning because you can burn off the calories. The problem,
I heard that's actually bad for you. Like I heard is like if you eat a ton of sugar in the morning, you have like the initial glucose spike where you are like,
oh yeah, no, it'll tire you out. But I mean, just in terms of weight loss, like not weight loss, but you'll gain the least amount of weight if you eat it in the morning and not the evening. But yeah, it actually like it does fuck up your mood and day.
It's such a ridiculous way to start the day. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna have like a few donuts. I'm gonna have like 4,000 calories.
Dude, cereal is bullshit. That doesn't do.
Dude, cereal.
Like even the healthy ones, it's like there's no real nutritional value from that.
Yeah, your breakfast really should just be like a couple
eggs.
of eggs.
Eggs is the perfect breakfast. Dude, I had an
Yeah.
omelet in Philly. It was great.
You get a Philadelphia omelet?
It was like an Italian cafe, and they did everything like really in a way I've never seen, like authentic Italian. Like all their ingredients were imported from like Sicily, and there was like foreign Italians making everything, and they made everything so fucking good.
Wow.
I got a cake
Wow.
pop there, and it was like literally like a little slice of cake that they like
Ooh.
baked there. It was really really good.
Dude, I like cake.
They had croissants and shit. Check out yeah, Cake is a good band. She's going the distance.
Check out croissants, everybody.
I'm gonna look up
You know, shout out the pastries.
Croissants are really, they're kind of a bullshit thing.
No, I love croissants.
They're great. They taste amazing, but they're really like it's like 800 calories in a croissant, and it's all like white bread. It's like
yeah, right. It's just bread and butter. Like I don't.
I think people think it's healthy because it's French or something, but it's worth.
I've never thought a croissant was healthy. I don't know. Did you think they were healthy?
No, but they're a lot worse than bread. It's like some desserts are better for you than a fucking croissant.
Yeah,
like
dude,
like a cupcake is better for you than a croissant.
Actually, I think like our food over here, like something's going on. Like I think like we have more poison or something in our food because like you go to any like of those European countries where they just eat like tons of bread and fucking smoke cigarettes all day. They're all kind of like fit still.
Yeah. Well, because they use fresh. It's a lot of it is because they have less processed foods, and I don't know why, but I think
like I think here we're just eating like straight up poison.
Well, it's also because we have huge portions. They are good at eating very little.
Well, we have huge portions, and also we've like structured everything to be sedentary. So like,
it's funny because when you eat that stuff, it's European, but if you eat stuff in Mexico, you're a pooping.
That's true. But it's like most of the countries also like designed to be sedentary. So you're like always, you're not like when you go anywhere, you're not like walking or riding a bike. You're like in a car. So like you can live your life in a way where you're mostly sitting down, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, you're sedentary.
I'm like a cyborg.
Cyborg. I'm a Seinfeld.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jerry's cyborg, and he's in Teen Titans, but he fucks one of the teens. That's something.
Well, I mean, I think technically Starfire is not really a teenager, so
I could fuck Starfire.
I think you have sex with Starfire. I think she's like hundreds of years
old.
Dude,
I would love to fuck Starfire. No, she looks like a child, Dalton.
Yeah, but I think like
it's one of those pervert loopholes.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like she's actually like 100 years old or something.
Well, she should hit me up when she looks 20. Oh, this is all right. She looks hot in
Well, the Marv Wolfman Teen Titan, like the comic book, she looked like a big titty like adult. You know?
Yeah, this Starfire I would love to have sex with.
The one that we grew up with on
this
Cartoon
one is
Network,
hot.
Yeah, that one's hot. The one we grew up with on Cartoon Network was definitely more childlike.
Yeah,
but there are big tittied like young adult Starfires.
Beautiful big titty Starfires don't come out of the sky, you know. Actually, they do.
Yeah,
she's an alien.
Yeah, and then there's like the show Titans, where it's I guess like they are technically the Teen Titans, but all the actors are well into their 20s. So you could probably have sex with that one. You could have sex with any of those people, really.
There's also the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah. Remember the Titans, Ethan Suplee.
That's true. That's a good point. How about there's also Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
And I was
thinking
I'm
gonna go full Suplee, dude. I'm gonna join the Church of Scientology and I'm gonna get jacked. And then
that's not a bad route though. Everybody loves when a fat guy gets jacked, honestly.
I'm happy for Ethan Suplee. He probably won't get cast in anything anymore, but
that's true. But he wasn't really getting cast in that much anyway.
Yeah, he was. Dude, Ethan Suplee has been like one of the
Ethan Suplee. This is a fucking Lee fest over there. My name is. It should have been called My Name is Lee.
Dude, Ethan Suplee was like one of the binding agents for movies and TV for years. Like he was a character actor that was just like show up in everything and make it that much better.
Yeah. He's a glue guy.
Yeah, he's in Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh yeah, that's right. Jamie Wolf.
Yeah.
Dude, I really like those Do-Rag and the Deer Tag guys, by the way. I had a nice time in Philly.
They're great, yeah.
It's funny, they're so different than the other Philly generation. Like they're more like actual, like sincere guys, and it's not like a pissing contest.
They're all on food stamps. That's cool.
That is cool. They're like actual wiggers, whereas I think a lot of people say they're wiggers, but they just mean like white trash.
Yeah, no, the Do-Rag guys are actual like
Rob Cruz used to rap. His music is really fucking good.
Yeah. The Do-Rag guys are like
Naheem is black. And
Yeah.
not LePaire black. Like,
Yo,
really.
but yeah, guys, Naeem is black.
And they're all very sincere friends too. Like they all like hit each other up to hang out and stuff. Like I really like those guys.
Yeah.
Shout out Drew Montana, Rob Cruz, and Naeem the black guy.
Dude, Naeem's Twitter is probably one of the best accounts on Twitter. Because it's like his Twitter feed is just like this stream of consciousness of someone who's like seemingly just becoming aware of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, you've seen like some of the stuff he's tweeted, like the sincere things where he's like, "Did anyone else think it was Dark Vader?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Naeem will like be very incisive about politics, but then he'll like talk about like I'm just hearing about this Trump guy. He seems like he's really like a lot of the people who support him are really disingenuous.
Yeah.
It's like he has good take.
He'll tweet things like, "Yo, I just heard some of this rock and roll music. Does anyone know
He seem to be hearing about almost everything for the first time."
Yeah. Which I guess speaks to the black experience, because I get like I think there is like
I'm just learning about this Kumia guy, bruh. Man, he sounds racist.
Yeah, I think there is a disconnect. I think like if people like black people who are like live the life of like just just being black, probably are not aware of like what's going on with white people shit. So like Naeem is gonna find out about My Chemical Romance any day now.
Oh, by the way, Rob loves My Chemical Romance. We were bonding over that.
Really?
So that is coming.
Yeah. That was gonna be like, man, these white boys.
Man, my dad never took me to the fucking Black Parade. I missed out.
What do you? Yeah, I come to white kid got to go to the Black Parade, and I didn't.
Yeah, yo, man. That's what they don't tell you about white kids. They fucking all go to the Black Parade.
Oh, Pandatron. Yo, Pandatron makes a good point. This is the name of conspiracy, because Pandatron said, I think he's trying to bait white people who love those reaction videos.
That's actually.
Yo, that might be true. Naeem might be
a genius. Yeah.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, Naeem might be a little more manipulative.
He is too smart and good at media literacy for someone who apparently has never heard of anything ever.
Yeah.
Like the way he processes a lot of this stuff, you'd think that he had watched everything, but he's watched nothing.
Dude, honestly, if he's cashing in on like that trend, good for him.
Damn, bro, just heard about Led Zeppelin. This shit is fire. It seems like it really set the standard for classic rock for a long time before it was replaced with heavy metal, but really it was kind of the infancy of heavy metal. Damn, though. Black Dog. Why do they talk about Gollum so much, though?
Damn, I wonder if he's seen Lord of the Rings. You think he's seen Lord of the Rings? Have you seen Lord of the Rings?
I have. It's been a while though.
Lord of the Rings is awesome. Well, I guess that's folks. Check out Lord of the Rings.
That's our Oscar review. The Lord of the Rings is awesome.
Yeah. Yep, that is true.
Like Naeem, I actually kind of was doing. He was on the phone with Rob, and I was just like, let me guess what he's saying.
Damn, you guys are hanging out. I got a show.
And that's like almost exactly what he was saying.
Nice.
So I picked up on a Naeem impression while I was in Philly, and thank you. So thank you guys. Yeah, I'll keep.
Peter Jackson really did his thing. Uh,
I'm thinking about having myself a black and mild.
I mean, the black people I know.
I think I'm gonna go get me a wood tip wine.
Ooh.
You ever had a wood tip wine black and mild?
No, what's that?
Is one of the flavors of black and mild. So it's a wood tip instead of plastic. And it's
Okay.
wine flavored. It's a delicacy where I'm from.
Yeah.
It's you never had a black and mild?
Oh, is that like the blunt wrap?
It's not a blunt wrap. It's like a cigar.
Oh, I've never smoked the. We used to just use them for blunt wraps. I've never actually smoked one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess like I would always associate blunt wraps as like backwoods or Dutch or whatever. Like in a black and mild, I would always just like actually smoke them. Like I would get like a pack of like wood tip wines, and just,
All right, I'll try it. If you recommend, no one's ever recommended a black and mild to me before, so
I don't know if they're good. Like I wouldn't say they're like quality. Like they're not good, but they're like.
No, so it's like a cigar, but it's in cigarette form. That's crazy.
I mean, I like them. I guess it's just like a personal preference where it's like I enjoy them, but they're definitely not like quality cigars. They're just like cheap. It's just like a cheap thing you buy at the convenience store every now and then.
All right, maybe it wasn't a black. I don't know. I haven't.
It's not because like a blunt wrap is more.
Why did
suited.
I did I buy it? I guess I don't. I think we used to maybe cut it open.
You can use a black and mild as like a.
All right,
Tiffany.
Tiffany. Yeah. Oh, that's what it is. It was for spliffs.
It's not the most effective for doing weed because the way it's made is like it's a very tight wrap and it's got like a tip, like a tip on the end of it, like a filter, like either plastic or wooden.
A filter tip? A filter tip?
It's not really a filter. It's just like a little mouthpiece.
Yeah,
so either plastic or wood. But whereas like a backwoods or a Dutch or any one of those is better for like a blunt wrap, I guess.
Yeah, we used to do Dutches. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking about treating myself to a little wood tip wine, dude.
That sounds nice to me, man. You should try. I'll try one too.
You try wood tip wine,
dude. This sounds nice. Black and mild with a Dr. Pepper. That
does sound good. Yeah, that does sound good.
All right, yeah. Let's. All right. Okay, so that's our
review. Stay tuned. The Crowder Boys this Wednesday. Robbie and I are going to give our full review of Black and Mild.
Yes. Amazing.
Which I think would be Crack will love that.
Yeah. Well, I think didn't he quit smoking?
When I don't know if he smokes tobacco anymore, but I'm sure he's well acquainted with Black and Milds and all types of cigarillos.
Damn, Dalton Connect crushed tonight, I guess.
Oh wait, maybe we have an Ernest episode this Wednesday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we got.
No, I booked Vinny Beetle again by accident. Oh, Nick Cara, did I tell you this? He DM'd me. He's like, that guy's still around. And I was like, oh, dude, you know him? He's like, yeah, everyone in the Orlando comedy scene fucking hates him.
Yeah.
He scammed them all. All right, cool. Well, thanks, Dalton. Thank you for doing this with me, Dalton. I appreciate it. And on short notice.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you for bearing with me while I'm gay about my favorite awards shows. Who was hot, who was not. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.